Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all having a wonderful week so far, because we are here for yet another chapter of One Piece, chapter 1121, which is, always my favorite time of the week. Let me fix that real quick. Like I said, I hope you're all having an amazing week so far. I know it's almost the weekend, but, and this chapter came out, like, really early, right? Like, 12 hours ago, which, like, for a long time, that was common, where we'd get it, like, Wednesday night, well, I guess that's depending on where you're at in the world. It might be Thursday or Wednesday, but came out pretty early, which is awesome. Okay, cool. I got the music on. Dope. Want to give a quick shout out to a couple of the goats in the chat for gifting some things. I saw my guy Vex with well, first off, he joined the Afro Gang, which, I mean, he's always been in the Afro Gang, but now it's, official with YouTube purposes. Appreciate you. And then also the 10 gifted memberships. Vex, my guy, sexy Vexy. Shout out to the 10 people who got the memberships. At least I hope it's 10, because I know last week it was acting a little funky. I do see 10. Major shout out to my guy Vex for that. And then also 3-day trip, one of the all-time goats of the channel, with the 5 gifted memberships. But I saw you comment that there hasn't been a 5th one yet, which is odd. Whenever I gifted 5, well, YouTube gifted 5, it wasn't me. All right, you don't thank me. That's from YouTube. But I do see 5, so that's really weird, 3-day, that I don't see the 5th one after your membership. Maybe it just didn't pop up. That's really strange. Maybe I should go look into the numbers after this and see, like, because, like, what, 20 people should have gotten memberships, or 21 if you count Vex getting his own. So maybe I should look after this and see if that's accurate. Maybe it's just not popping up for, like, a privacy thing. I'm not really sure. That's very strange. But thank you guys. Seriously, thank you. And it's actually good timing that you guys did that, because... So, I know I've been talking about this for a few weeks now, but I finally have the booster box for the TCG giveaway. So if you signed up for that giveaway and you've been wondering where it's at, I finally have it. I actually got it on Saturday, right before I left to go to DC for the One Piece Symphony, which I went to with Kev DOG. Major shout out to him. And because I got it right when I was leaving, I got back Sunday. Like, I drove there, about 6 hours away from me, went to the orchestra, drove 6 hours home, and slept like the whole next day because I had to drive over the course of the night. So long story short, I just didn't have time to do it, but we're going to be doing this tomorrow. So tomorrow, probably afternoon, probably like 24 hours from now, we're going to do the giveaway that people have already signed up for. And then right after that one's over, we're going to do the sign up for the next one. So anyone who got a membership will be eligible to sign up for the next one for sure. So just wanted to let you guys know about that. But thank you guys again for gifting the membership. Seriously means a lot. Vex, thank you for plugging my second channel. 3-day, also thank you for doing that, because I saw you do it before everyone even got here, which is amazing. Also, shout out to everyone for, voting correctly on the poll there at the top. Laboon definitely should get everyone's vote for president. Laboon and Brook 2024, as Kuya said. Oh man, Kush Daddy, you... First off, Kush Daddy, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the, what was it, $2? You said, which Guitar Hero had the best soundtracks? Dude. That's such a hard question, because I really only played, like, the first 3. Well, like, I played Rock Band a lot, too, so I don't know if that also gets incorporated into this question. But if I had to go off immediate gut feeling, Guitar Hero 2. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but that's just the one I played the most. Is that the one with Freebird at the end? And then Guitar Hero 3 is Through the Fire and Flames, I think, right? I sometimes get these confused. Whichever one... it's Guitar Hero 2 either way, because I played it the most. Even though I had Guitar Hero 3, I kept going back to Guitar Hero 2 because I like the songs better. But I just can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, if that's the one with Freebird, then 100%, because Freebird's probably my all-time favorite Guitar Hero song. Even though it's, like, not that difficult, especially compared to Through the Fire and Flames, but... Oh, man. That might be a fun stream to play some Guitar Hero, I'm not gonna lie. I still have the guitars. I had extra, and I sold some on eBay, but I still have the wireless one. And then Lonely Mage also, with a 20-month membership celebration message, which that's amazing. He said, "What's up, Dak?" I'm assuming that's supposed to be like, "What's up, Doc?" But I appreciate you. Thank you, Lonely Mage, for being here. I hope you're still here, because I know you know, in the past you had to bounce for your own streams and stuff, but hopefully you're still here. Because I've heard nothing but good things about this chapter, guys. I was warned very early in the week to avoid spoilers, and then even last night while I was sleeping, because the chapter came out and people were reading it, started sending me messages like over the night and throughout the morning, like, dude, you do not get spoiled. Pay close attention to these couple pages. Like, didn't spoil me, but just were telling me I got to be ready. So I don't know what's about to be in here other than some good stuff. So I'm super pumped for that. Lonely Major still here. That's dope. Okay, I probably shouldn't be reading the chat. Not that you guys are going to spoil me, but, you know, I should probably just go ahead and get into the chapter here pretty shortly. Yeah, I think I got everything set up. I don't have my right music on. Hold on. I'm listening to Matis Yahoo right now, which, don't get me wrong, I love Matis Yahoo. I've seen him in live in concert in Hawaii, which was amazing. But I got to get that One Piece music on in my ear real quick before we get started. Major shout out to Modest Yahoo, though. All right, here we go, guys. Getting into it. One Piece chapter 1121. What was it called? It was something cool, like the ebb and flow. Well, I don't want to scroll down because I have to see it, but it's like the ebb and flow of the ages or something, right? Which I just love that whole statement. So, yes, and as Saint Constantine said in the chat, like the stream if you haven't yet. St. Constantine, I'm so glad I finally got to respond to some of your messages. I'm sorry it took me a while, but I appreciate you for being here. All right, here we go. Chapter 1121. We got One Piece here on the cover of Shonen Jump, which is cool. I feel like we get one of these a month now because One Piece is obviously just the biggest one, you know, that's still ongoing in Shonen most of the time here, so makes sense. 27th anniversary, that's right. If you guys didn't know, the 27th anniversary of the One Piece manga is coming up. I mean, depending on where you are in the world, but Sunday/Monday, because I think it's July 22nd, but, you know, in Japan, the 22nd they're a day ahead or whatever, right? But that's super cool. There's the 27th anniversary. That's amazing. The One Piece Symphony I went to in DC recently was the 25th anniversary for the anime, because it started a couple years later, obviously. And that was amazing. So I'm excited to see. I mean, 27 isn't like too special of a number, but I'm sure they're going to do some kind of celebration, something or other for One Piece's birthday. So I'm excited to see what's going down. But cool cover. I like the like cutout pieces, like for the text, like the mismatching font there. I like that. It's cool. Then we also got a color page, which is awesome. Got Nami being giant. Okay. Got Frankie riding a duck thing over here. No issues there. That's cool. Got Zoro cutting a watermelon. Pretty dope. I mean, I'm a big Nami guy. So no complaints here for me at all. Might even stay here and observe, you know, longer. It's pretty cool. Got Jinbei back here with like barely getting any panel space there. Poor Jinbei. Got Sanji back there. Pretty cool. All right, here we go. We're getting into the actual chapter. So it was the ebb and flow of the ages. So I was right. So I love that chapter title. I can only presume that's going to tie to something Vegapunk says, or maybe the robot, but probably Vegapunk, I would imagine. But all right, here we go. Watch out for those claws. All right, I gotta increase my volume real quick. All right, here we go. Watch out for those claws. We can't let them get away. Fire. They're poisonous. Don't touch them. So gotta be a Saturn thing. Yep. Whoa, yeah, nothing good can come from touching that. What an intense attack. We got Saturn looking all serious. I don't know if that's like a Conqueror's hockey thing. You still won't stay down, you bastard. Oh, wow, so we got Bonnie going back into Gear 5th again. Okay. You can tell she's really struggling. Oh, it says mumble, but you can tell she's struggling, which obviously Luffy does too, right? You think about whenever he fought Kaido and he went out of Gear 5th and then back into it, right? So, and that was like really hard, and now he has to eat to do it again or whatever. So it's interesting that she's doing it like right the first time she went into Gear 5th, she also, you know, forced herself to go back into it, which is pretty cool. Okay, so we got Luffy protecting Bonnie. Saturn. Bonnie. So she's very tired. Wheeze, wheeze. That's it, Bonnie. You've got this. I mean, this has to be draining Bonnie like crazy. I mean, it tires Luffy out, and he's made of rubber, and he's like semi-used to it, right? So I wonder where this is going. Because she obviously, like, well, we'll see. We'll see. A day of awakening is coming, where all the pressing secrets of the Void Century will be uncovered. Do we have any familiar faces back here that I should be recognizing? Probably, but you guys will tell me if I missed them. Just like I did with Don Krieg. All right, here we go. We know the weapons technology that sank the world's continents is still in use. Okay. That power is out there, okay? Oh, is that Skypiea? I love that, but they're not listening to it in Skypiea, right? Like, I mean, I don't see the transponder screen or whatever you call it. Okay. See, I like having Vivi and Shirahoshi here right next to each other. That's interesting. We know the weapons technology that sank the world's continents is still in use. That power is out there. Those with rare and unique racial ancestry are relentlessly persecuted and slaughtered today due to some mysterious quirk of history. So this is probably the Buccaneers, because I see Kuma down here. Are you a Buccaneer? What makes my blood so special anyway? Oh, dude, I need to know. This has to be a green blood connection. So we got Marco here at Sphinx. They're listening to it, which is big time. I'm talking about the distant past. Back then, there was a kingdom of gods up there. All right, so that's that flashback we got in Wano, but we're just getting it again. You're a Lunarian. The world government is offering 100 million berries for any information on them. Look, she's got 3 eyes. Okay, so now going back to Vegapunk's, this racial history comment thing. So it's obviously all the races, not just the Buccaneers. It's all of them that he's talking about, or at least that's the implication here. Got 3 eyes, Lunarians, Buccaneers. Nika, you're mine. You are but a parrot mimicking what you do not comprehend. Man, I hate Saturn, but that's kind of a cool line, like you're a parrot, because obviously parrots repeat things, right? So I kind of like that, because usually they just say insects, and that got a little old, so at least he's switching it up, you know what I mean? Enough. Shishi, what did he just do? Hold on. He just kicked all the arms to the side so he didn't hurt Bonnie, I guess is what just happened. Okay. Man, Bonnie, Luffy's just protected. You gotta launch an attack or something, girl. You know what I mean? You can either live as a slave or die. Nothing else can be tolerated for someone of your ilk. That is what the tides of time have decided. Which, that was a cold scene in the Kuma flashback. I want to see that animated. I wonder if they're going to add some cool additions to that scene in the anime, which I could definitely see. Which, by the way, the episode with Kid versus Shanks was super hype in the anime. I wanted to react to that, but had the Symphony to do. But definitely going to start reacting to some of the new stuff coming up. But I wanted to be a hero. Someone who could save people. Real heroes, too. Or wait, sorry. How dare you? All those things you did to Daddy. I forgot that line. But now, I wanted to be a hero. Someone who could save people. Real heroes, too. All I ever wanted was for the 3 of us to live in peace. Being alone for so long made me want to die. But I kept going. I owe everything to those 2. Thank you, Bonnie. We're so glad you were born. They've blessed me in so many ways. Oh, I should have read all the way up there. Sorry, I messed up. It doesn't matter. What you did to Mommy. Your mother ended up being part of my drug experiments. How dare you call yourself a god? Real gods do exist. So then it goes down to where I said earlier, real heroes too. My bad. These double spreads are sometimes just confusing on the order of events here when they put this thing, like this white bar in the middle. I feel like that's very misleading, because like that white bar in between the top is thicker than the right side, so my brain thinks I should keep reading the right side before going to the left, but obviously that's not what I was supposed to do. Oh well, who cares? Your mother ended up being part of my drug experiments. How dare you call yourself a god? Real gods do exist. Bonnie, say hi to mommy. Okay, then we go back over there. And that's where she says real heroes too. I kind of like that. So, okay, so now they bless me in so many ways. Just going to skip over that. Liberating you insects. And so we got a combo attack. Very interesting. I feel like we beat up on Saturn a lot this arc. So, I mean, it's cool to see Bonnie, you know, get a shot in on him. But she already stabbed him once, so I'm interested to see what Oda's going to do here. There will be a reckoning on the day those answers come. You must be on guard to protect yourselves. No matter what happens, I have faith in humanity's capacity for wisdom. I have faith in science. Man, I love Vegapunk, man. I can't wait to do the Vegapunk video. Just these lines. I have faith in science. Gur died 25 years ago. Roger, I presume is what he says there. Roger died 25 years ago. And it's been 2 years since Whitebeard's death. A new age is heralded by the passing of old legends. Hey, Vegapunk, you're kind of cooking right now. Nika Punch. So it's called Liberating Nika Punch was what they're... so Bonnie did one punch and Luffy did like a million punches. Not even sure what to really think of that, honestly. That's interesting. Kind of cute, I guess. All right, so we see Saturn just like falling apart, kind of. Today, there are certain individuals who can't be oppressed. Man, Saturn's like his eyes are whited out. It's like he actually is feeling it, but we obviously know he can just heal, right? Today, there are certain individuals who can't be oppressed. Yeah, wah, da ha ha. We really sent him flying, Bonnie. It's weird that it's not she, but all right. Good job. So we see Kuma over there with no reaction, which obviously if Kuma actually saw that and like was in his normal state of mind, he'd be he wouldn't be in his normal state of mind after seeing it. So I assume he's still, you know, knocked out. Shout out to the almost 200 people here, by the way. I appreciate y'all. Look, that's your ship, isn't it? The Sunny. So all that happened while the Sunny was still above the ship. We're gonna die. We're gonna fall and die. Someone come save us. Usopp, how many times has the Sunny fallen from somewhere, or even the Mary, and you made it? Such individuals are probably the closest to the truth. A coincidence? Oh, that says bzz, so I wonder if there was something in between, but a coincidence, or did Roger set this all in motion? I'm gonna scroll back up real quick. There are certain individuals who can't be oppressed. Such individuals are probably the closest to the truth. Okay, or did Roger set this in motion? Got it. My treasure, it's yours to find. Everything is right where I left it. Rayson, you'll catch a cold. So he's still sleeping, which I just love that. Like, the guy who already knows these answers doesn't care to hear them again or even for the world to hear them. I think that is... I just love... I don't know. Oda... The symbolism there is awesome. All right, Vegapunk. I like where this is going. Because he's talking about the One Piece now. Now all the pirates are pumped about it. Isn't the Commodore back yet? I can't wait much longer. Emperor Blackbeard's lair. Pirate Island Hachinosu. So we know that Blackbeard has not made it back to Hachinosu, which is important. Because we saw him at Winter Island and we're wondering where he's been. I wonder if he's heading towards Egghead to pick up Augur. That would make the most sense to me. Because by the fact, you know, this comment, I can't wait much longer, I think that's like Pizarro still being the island because he doesn't want everything to fall apart. Like he's trying to keep the castle together, I presume. Either way. Unfortunately, there's no guarantee that it will be found by someone Joy Boy would want. That's true. It's interesting. I mean, is there no guarantee? Or, I mean, does Roger know the future enough to know that it's virtually guaranteed? You know what I mean? Because, like, Odin was so certain someone was coming in 20 years, so he knew that. So I wonder if now the Roger Pirates do know that it's someone Joy Boy wanted who's going to make it there, or if they... Or maybe there's some point in history where there's, like, an inflection point where they can't guarantee it. I don't know, because you would think if they know everything, then they might actually know. But I like it either way, because it's kind of like whoever gets the One Piece gets to do whatever they feel like is right with it. I presume is kind of the idea, right? Like whoever wins that race gets to do whatever. But then, so next to this Blackbeard panel, we also have Shanks' ship, the Red Force, and they say, "Boss, you're drinking too much. Shut up, I ain't drinking." So obviously he is drinking. But guys, I gotta say, having a Blackbeard panel and a Shanks panel side by side, where they don't know where Blackbeard is, and Shanks is sailing out somewhere right now, this fight is happening soon. I'm telling you. That's what Oda is I don't know if foreshadowing is the right word, but the way this is set up, I'm telling you. He is telling us this matchup's coming. That's why those are side by side like that. I'm positive. It might even be that Blackbeard's on his way to go meet Shanks right now, or they will serendipitously or something. Oh, now we over to the Cross Guild also. Chairman Buggy, there's no doubting your greatness now. You always exceed our expectations. Huh? There's so much more to your dream than I thought. We got Croc and Mihawk just, you know, talking like dragon right now with the ... and the sweating, each of them with half the dragon language. There's no way we'll just stand by. Let's go and find it first. Who will protect the common folk then, you dolts? The Navy HQ. There's no stopping this now. The fate of this world will be decided by whoever finds it. It all depends on who... excuse me. It all depends on who finds the One Piece. We got the four Yonko up there. We got a Kainu. We got Dragon. We got... is Garling, I presume, under him? I don't know who else. I don't know why it's silhouetted, because we already know what he looks like. Whatever. We got Emu. We got Kobe. We got Kuzan. There's Garling. So who's the silhouetted character over there? Am I blanking here? Who's the shadowy figure? I figured it was Garling, but then I see him on the left, so I don't know who that... because I figured it would be a God's Knight tying to Dragon. Is it Shanks? I mean, we already see Shanks up here, so I doubt it, but the sword looks like it. We also got Sabo over here, which is cool. Who is the shadowy figure? Who is this? Okay, nobody knows. Okay, or well, I mean, I see some answers. Huh. Shanks' twin. I mean, if there was ever a time for Shanks' twin to get revealed, this would be a hell of an interesting time to do it. I don't know who that is, honestly. I'm gonna take a stab in the dark here, guys, and I'm gonna say Wang Ji. Alright, I'm just gonna say it right now, Wang Ji. Go back to chapter 1096, right? In 1096, we had that shadowy figure that was not revealed yet. It was a silhouette in the God Valley panel that was a rocks pirate. We have not learned who that was. I've been saying for a long time it's Wang Ji, and I feel still super confident in that. And so since he was silhouetted in 1096, it would make sense that he's silhouetted here. And in regards to like somebody who has a chance to get the One Piece, I think one of the last remaining rocks pirates would make sense. So I'm gonna say it's Wang Ji, but it could totally be someone else. That's interesting. Hell of a chapter, guys. Amazing spread there at the end. I love having Vegapunk hype up the One Piece. That is just such a... it should have happened sooner, right? Because you think about Roger, and I actually brought this up a couple videos ago, right? I can't remember. Yeah, with my Will of D video, I brought up, you know, when Roger talked about the One Piece, nobody stopped him. When Whitebeard talked about the One Piece to the world, nobody stopped him. Now when Vegapunk's doing it, no one stopped him. But what messages did get stopped? The stuff about the Will of D, right? Both in Vegapunk's message, and you think even Cobra, like the second he said that Lily had the Will of D, he shut him down. So I like that we now have the third time of One Piece stuff getting revealed to the world, because it's already happened, obviously. So it makes sense. Like, whenever the world, like, someone has the mic to talk to the whole world, the One Piece almost always comes up, so I've been waiting for this. So I love this. just such a cool panel right here. I'm gonna get into some of these super chats real quick because I do want to talk about the shadowy figure a lot more. I see a lot of people saying man marked by flames. I feel like right now in the story, literally any time a mystery character is introduced, the man marked by flames is the first person they think it is. Or like, and it works both ways. Like in this case where there's a silhouette, we immediately go man marked by flames. Or on the flip side, like if there's someone that, you know, we don't know, like with Saul, we're like, well, what's he doing right now? Where is he at? It's like man marked by flames. Or like Scopper Gaban, a lot of people are like, well, where's he at? He's probably the man marked by flames. Like, I feel like we always go to that because it's a really popular mystery that we definitely need an answer for. But I don't think this is the kind of place where we would see that, personally. Like, and also, like, the fact the guy's pulling out a sword makes me think it's not the man marked by flames, because obviously that's like a combat readiness thing, and the man marked by flames, I feel like you could presume by just holding onto the last road poneglyph is trying to, you know, like if they were gonna show him in a silhouette, he wouldn't have a sword, he'd like be on a ship or something, I guess is what I'm saying. Not that it totally rules it out, I guess just with the way my brain works, I doubt that would be the man marked by flames. I feel like the fact the sword looks like Shanks' sword is a hint of what we're supposed to think here. Like, maybe it's another God's Knight getting ready, right? Like a younger one, because, like, I'm sure Garling's still a beast, but he's also old, right? And so I am sure that there's younger God's Knights who are in their prime right now, and part of me thinks that this silhouette is meant to represent the current God's Knights, because Garling's like the leader, which ties back to him being old and stuff. I'm sure there's got to be ones in their primes, and that's also an answer. So I think either God's Knights or Wang Ji. That's what I'm going towards, for sure. All right, I'm going to get into these super chats, because some of you guys might have some better ideas, honestly. Sam Fisher with the $5. Wait, was that the very first one? Just want to make sure I don't miss anything here. All right, cool. Looks good. Said, I figured Oda would wait to show Shanks, Buggy, and Blackbeard until the very end of Vegapunk's message, so I think it's over. Yeah, I'm with you. This is the type of message ending thing. Like, I'm still hoping we get the Ancient Kingdom name. I think there's still a place for that, and, you know, maybe Robin could chime in and do it, like I've been saying. But I agree with you. This is the type of thing Vegapunk would say towards the end of the message, right? Like, just going back to what I said about Roger and Whitebeard, what were some of the final things they said? They talked about the One Piece, right? So I think that it just lines up that this is what Vegapunk's going to do too. It's perfect. Kush Daddy with the $5. Vegapunk says, someone that Joy Boy wouldn't want to find the One Piece may find it, and we see Shanks. Do you think what Shanks plans is not what Joy Boy wants? Great question, Kush Daddy. I'm actually going to go back up there, because it is right in between Blackbeard and Shanks, and then obviously like the next pages are like, you know, Buggy and Navy headquarters and stuff, and we have other people. So like, he, you know, it's kind of like lightly talking about all these people, but I guess just to answer the question directly, I think anyone but Luffy would probably not do what Joy Boy wants, if that makes sense. Like, I bet you Luffy is going to have such a unique perspective on it that only he would have, him or Joy Boy, I presume. And I think that is mainly the thing. Like, it's something, like, probably way outside of the box. Like what Joy Boy wanted people to do was probably something way outside of the box, something that a lot of people wouldn't think of. Probably only people with certain goals would think of what he wants them to think of, and I bet you it's only Luffy who would do that. So and now they might be different things. Like, Blackbeard would probably use it to take over the world. Maybe Shanks would use it improperly to try to save the world. Like, maybe he would think too hard about it. Buggy would probably just, you know, chase fame and maybe try to trade it in for money or something. Like, everyone would do something different. So it's not to say that Shanks is necessarily doing something way wrong or something super against what Joy Boy wants, but I just think they're all probably different. Like, every single pirate is, like, a lot of them would probably laugh at it, like Roger did, but I bet you, like, what they do after would be different. Like, Roger didn't do anything. I mean, he said he was too early, so that's obviously a big factor, but he didn't do anything with it, and then I bet you everyone else would have a different mindset. So, I don't know. I hope Oda shows us sometime, like, the examples of, like, this is what Shanks would have done if he found the One Piece. Like, this is what Blackbeard would have done. Like, maybe that'll be an SBS, like, after the story's over. Like, would they all laugh, or what would they do if they got there? Like, I think that would be really cool. But yeah, as for what they do with it, I bet only Luffy does the right thing. Sam Fisher with the $5. Appreciate you, Sam. I think the Silhouette is likely the strongest God's Knight. Given his age, Garling may be the leader, but I don't think he's the strongest anymore. Oh yeah, we're mind roping. That's right what I said right before I got into these super chats. I completely agree with you. Like I said, Wang Ji I think is still a good guess, just because Wang Ji was also silhouetted, and you know, he was the leader of Pirate Island, so he should be pretty strong. All that kind of stuff, he lines up. But the fact the guy is pulling out a sword here, it just makes me think God's Knight, and he's also under Dragon, and and Dragon's the one who mentioned the God's Knights, and the God's Knights were also silhouetted in that panel, so it would make sense to silhouette someone out here. So I'm with you, Sam. This is probably the strongest God's Knight, or like maybe it is Shanks's brother, because Shanks's like older or younger brother stayed a Celestial Dragon, and so maybe it's not like his twin, but it is actually his brother. I could see something like that. That'd be kind of crazy, Shanks. But it's just, if it is Shanks's brother, then I feel like Shanks would have to fight him, which Shanks is about to fight Blackbeard. I feel like this is Oda just telling us what's about to happen. Like, this is so clear to me. Like, hearing that Blackbeard isn't back yet in this, and then adjacent to a panel with Shanks sailing. Come on, man. Like that. Oda, it's time to get, and also because he's talking about, like, it all depends who gets the One Piece. Like, they're all, meeting, and or they're all going for it and whatever. It would make sense that Shanks and Blackbeard fight, and now if they all are going for the One Piece, which they are, so it just lines up. Lonely Mage with the $10 super chat. Appreciate you, Mage. Glad you're still here. Vegapunk, now the third man whose dying words will drive people to the sea. Absolutely. Roger, Whitebeard, and Vegapunk, the legendary trifecta. The GOATs, man. Oh. The people who send off, or send their life off with a message. I'm probably not saying that right. You guys know what I mean, though. Like, whenever they're, signing off in life, and they have their final chance with the mic, and they say something, it's about the One Piece. Man, that legends. Like, so those are some of the best moments in One Piece, arguably. And Roger saying it was like the first thing we see, so it was like, a little bit different, I suppose. But even like, you think about like the world of One Piece, Roger saying that, Whitebeard saying that, and now Vegapunk saying that are some of like the biggest things the world's ever heard since the Void Century. And I love Oda for it. We all should have known. We should have known this is where it was going. I think a lot of people said this would be a part of it, but it doesn't surprise me at all that it got as much focus as it did, because it obviously he should have said this. Still hope we see the Ancient Kingdom name though. ZMP323 with the $5. Appreciate you, and thank you for the warning on Discord earlier this morning. I don't know what time it was, to be honest with you, but whatever time it was. 15 out of 10 peak chapter, pure gas. Also, did you notice that Isa, Vivi, and Shirahoshi were all shown when Vegapunk talked about the ancient weapons? Is that the thing you said I need to look for, or whatever? Because I was looking for it, and I saw him talk about ancient weapons. I was like, all right, this is probably my, like, tied to one of my theories or something. And that is interesting. ZMP. That is very interesting, sir. I didn't really think about this. We have one confirmed ancient weapon in Shirahoshi, being Poseidon. We have another, usually, I would say a likely ancient weapon in Vivi. We obviously don't know that for sure, but everyone has Uranus theories about her, and also I've talked about Pluton a little bit because the Pluton poneglyph is there. If the mole theory is true, that mole that dug under the sea went to Alabasta. There's a lot of honestly solid reasons for Pluton as well, even though it's obviously in Wano. But then we see Isa down here, who I still think has a very good chance of being Uranus, because obviously she's from the sky. She had observation hockey from the get-go, basically, kind of like an L did. She could detect people all over the island, which if you go to... a lot of us think Uranus is going to be tied to the weather, like controlling the weather. So if you go look at the aircon from Egghead, they even mentioned that using that can detect all living things on the island. And that always stood out to me, because I'm like, okay, wait, so an L, sky god person, Aircon, which is a weather controller thing, and then Isa can all detect living things in a certain area. The Gorosei seem to be able to do that too, but regardless, like, okay, 3 sky things, you know, can all do that. That's very strange. Maybe Vivi being Pluton stocks or Pluton controller stocks are up, maybe. And Vivi and Shirahoshi being side by side does also make me think of that panel from Fishman Island where it's like the Sea Kings are talking about like the 2 sovereigns, like one born this year, one in a distant sea, or whatever the statement was. The whales will be delighted in anticipation, all that stuff. It makes me wonder that too, because I think a lot of us had presumed the sovereigns are Shirahoshi and Luffy. But if it's going to be anyone other than Luffy, like one is absolutely Shirahoshi because of the context. But the other one could potentially not be Luffy. And it being Vivi, I kind of like that if it is. Because Vivi is kind of like a sovereign for the world in a lot of ways. Obviously, Luffy is like the liberator and key to history and stuff. But I kind of like that. So that's another thought. But the 3 ancient weapon controllers being here as the MP, I like that, man. I like that you said that. Having Isa down here is big time. Kush Daddy with the $2 silhouette is man marked by flames. Hey man, if that ends up being it, then a lot of you guys are getting some flowers. But I'm going against the grain for sure. I don't think that's this isn't the place for Oda to implement a silhouette like that in my mind. Like the man, it's just when the man marked by flames is hinted at, he's not going to be pulling out a sword. He's going to be chilling, you know, like on a ship. Like I at least I could be wrong, but I just think that I think he's hinting that this person is ready for combat, and the man marked by flames has just been like hiding. So you know what I mean? It's just a little bit of a different vibe. But like I said, y'all are gonna get some flowers. I'm gonna be going to the florist for quite a few if that ends up happening. Sam Fisher with the $5. I hope Viz is titled The Ebb and Flow of the Ages. In Japanese, it's identical to the wording in Chapter 100. If not, it seriously loses its impact. Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that Vegapunk didn't say the phrase. Because you're right, because it was said in Chapter 100. With like, it was Dragon quoting Roger, right? I think is where that came from. Like the 3 things that can't be stopped. I was really hoping Vegapunk would say that whole thing because he's close to Dragon, right? And imagine getting a reaction panel of Dragon. Well, okay, not like Dragon would do anything, so I mean, it's not that hype, I guess. But it would have been cool to get a reaction panel from Dragon for Vegapunk saying the same things as him, right? Like, these 3 things cannot be stopped. The ebb and, or what is it, like inherited will, a man's dream, and the ebb and flow of the ages, or something like that, right? I wish he would have said it, but regardless, the parallels here, so it still counts. But I agree, Sam Fisher. That, I mean, that better be the name. It better be in the official. Oh wow, a bunch more things just popped up. Holy crap! All right, on my end there was like no more, but then I just moved my cursor and then it all popped up. So thank you guys, very very much. John Stoops with the $5. Hype chapter, but I can't help but feel a little blue-balled when it comes to the robot. That's a good point. We didn't even see the robot at all this chapter, did we? And now we have a break week ahead to wait even longer. 9 out of 10. It is. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. 3-Day did tell me it was a break. Well, you know, I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of happy there's a break so I can get this next video out. The next video is about the origin of devil fruits, FYI, or at least it should be. That's the plan. The script is kind of long, so we're gonna figure that out in the next couple days. But that video's coming, hopefully like next weekend. So that's actually a good thing. But I do agree that there's a little bit of a blue ball factor because the robot was like the focus of the last couple chapters, and then we didn't even get the robot at all here. Like didn't the last chapter end with like the robot, you know, staring down the Gorosei and stuff? Wasn't that it? Let me scroll back down to jog my memory. Yeah, exactly. It's him staring down all the Gorosei, and the Gorosei are like mid-attack, and now we're not going to get anything for a while. And like I mentioned, like the Sunny is above, like flying towards the ship at the very start of the chapter, and Luffy and Bonnie have all this fighting, and then the Sunny is still up there, and apparently the robot hasn't been attacked yet. It's just like the time intervals here, they don't line up very well, but. Yeah, I don't know, but I do want to see what happens with the robot, because the robot is going to have also a crazy send-off. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna say something too at the end, which it might be voice of all things, like only certain people get to hear it, but regardless, he's gonna say something. So John, I completely agree with you. Mr. Bushido 56, member for 20 months. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Who is the guy under Dragon? Wang Ji, Man Marked by Flames, Carrot. It's one of the three is where I'm at. Definitely Wang Ji. At least Wang Ji or a God's Knight. I think it's got like a young God's Knight. Because also if you compare the panels side by side, kind of like if you mirror them, Garling is in the same spot as that God's Knight guy. Like they mirror each other. And then you have like Sabo and Akainu mirroring. Like it's just I don't know why Dragon and Kuzan necessarily mirror. Ohara probably. Yeah, they probably feel the same way about Ohara. That's why they mirror Emu and Kobe, because Kobe's, you know, like a good. Kobe should kind of be where Akainu is and have Sabo be opposite Emu. I don't know. But either way, I think that hints God's Knight. But I don't think it's Carrot though, Bushido. I'll be honest. I don't think it's Carrot. Maybe one of the Musketeers, because they have swords, right? JR Rider 203 with the $10. If the Marines are going after the One Piece, do you think they attack Whole Cake and Wano? A bit of a stretch, but maybe Kaido and Big Mom are the ones who cause Impel Down 2.0 to free their crews. Well, very interesting thought about the Marines going for the One Piece. Because like we see here that the Marines are like, well, who's going to protect the common folk? And with the kind of disagreements or misunderstanding right now between Akainu and the Marines and the world government, especially after hearing like the world's flooding and all this stuff, you know, a lot of people have talked about maybe Akainu is going to defect from the Marines or start ordering the Marines kind of like, you know, like it's his own thing, like just kind of like mercenaries or something. Like he's just, you know, doing whatever he feels like is right. If that's the case, then I could actually see the Marines thinking about it, or at least like a group of the Marines, because JR Writer, you guys remember in an SBS from like 50 volumes ago or something, I don't know how long, really long time ago, Oda said that Akainu is so strong, or his fruit is so strong, whatever it was, that he could find the One Piece in a year. And the fact he said that always stood out to me, because I'm like, you know, well, it's a good thing he doesn't care about the One Piece then, because Oda, I mean, if Oda said it, then that guy could probably cook, you know what I mean? Akainu could go find it. And so, if Akainu does make that his goal, then you have to really consider that threat, because Oda has already told us, and maybe that's why Oda told us that. So that way, whenever we get towards this part of the story, we can think like, okay, if Akainu is getting into this action, that's scary. Like, that all the pirates should be worried about that, right? So, I actually don't think that's that much of a stretch, to be honest, that some of the Marines go for the One Piece. Then as for Kaido and Big Mom causing Impel Down 2.0, I mean, we got to figure out where they're at first before I can even consider that. Like, in my mind, I think that Kaido and Big Mom have to be separated from here on out. Like if Oda's going to bring them back, they got to be separate points. Like Big Mom is going to be tied to Elbaf clearly. Kaido, I honestly don't know. Probably something with Wano. Like I honestly don't. You know, I have a few videos or theories on it, but honestly, I think it'd be best if Kaido, you know, did come back but died soon after. To be honest with you, like, because if he's out in the world doing things, that's just, I mean, that's crazy. You know what I mean? That's a terror for the world. So So I'm not sure about Impel Down, but you know, if there was one of the two, I think Kaido would be the one, because he already has a couple of his crewmates in Impel Down, right? Queen and King should be at a bare minimum. We don't really know where Jack is at, but that's technically possible. So so yeah, not the craziest idea, but I'm definitely with you on the Marines going for the One Piece, like potentially at least. Kuya Pixels with the $2 super chat. Solid 8 out of 10 chapter on Elbaf we go. I mean, you know, Egghead's great and all, but I'm ready for another arc. You know, I'm ready. This one feels like, it's funny because in Wano, even though Wano is multitudes times longer than Egghead, like twice as long, right, or a little 2.5 times as long, whatever it is, I felt like Wano ended too abruptly, but now I feel like Egghead is the opposite, where even though it's shorter, it's taking too long to end. Like, this is all hype and I enjoy it, but man, like, we've been in this message for like 11 chapters now, I think. So, I'm I'm ready for Elbaf, or, you know, I've done the Sphinx Island video. I'm ready for that. I just want to go to a different island at this point, just because it just feels like it should be over. You know, like that's the only thing. I feel like it's felt that way for 5 or 6 chapters, I feel like. But regardless, we still got to figure out what to do with the Sunny here, because the Sunny has not landed yet. And I'm not really sure how I feel or if I fully understand this Saturn stuff, because, like, I mean, look how cooked he is. Like, his eyes are all whited out and he's like about to fall into the ocean and stuff. Is he, like, he took a laser blast through his body earlier and just recovered like it was nothing. So I'm just a little confused on the mechanics here. Can they only heal a certain number of times in a fight? You know, I'm not really sure how that works, so I don't know. Oda could stretch this longer if he wants to, but I'm ready to go, for sure. Kush Daddy, again, with the $5. Appreciate you. But for real, most likely it's Shanks' relative, but it's weird for us to see him, assuming that was him who met the Gorosei, only to be silhouetted later. Yeah, I mean, I think the guy who met the Gorosei is definitely just Shanks. I think, like, I know there's, like, the missing scar thing and whatever, but I feel like that, you know, Oda would have so much explaining to do, and I would argue unnecessary explaining to do, if he did make that Shanks' brother back there. It's just like, I don't know, he didn't have to do it, but it being some relative to Shanks in general here in the silhouette, I mean, like I said at the beginning, you know, maybe Garling had another kid, and so that is Shanks' brother. It's just not like his twin or, you know, or whatever. It's probably just, it looks somewhat like Shanks, but not really, not like a one-to-one. Or they could have cloned Shanks, because there's been a lot of clone shenanigans. Like that, a clone of Shanks is more reasonable to me than a twin brother. So I could see that, but I think I'm going with just like a different God's Knight. That would make the most sense, I feel like, but like another Figarland also makes it. Man, Shanks having a clone, that, like, I never really thought about that, but I feel like that's less crazy than I thought. Just with all the clone stuff, you know. But I do agree, Kush Daddy, that if that was Shanks' relative with the Gorosei, it would make no sense to then do this later. Unless they, well, it might, because we already see Shanks up here, so that way it would make us think it's not a Shanks-related thing. I'm not really sure. I'm going regular God's Knight or Wang Ji for sure, but you know, I mean, I'll hold my breath, because it could be a lot of different people. Mr. Bushido with the €5. What do you think happens next? We leave next chapter or things go wrong? I doubt it very much, but Emu shows up, kills everyone, giants and marines. I'm not gonna lie, I would love for Emu to show up and start wiping people out. I want the marines or the world government to feel threatening. And they have at moments in this arc, but they also have been trivialized at points. And, you know, I mean, it's just the power creep of the story. So, I mean, I get why Oda has to keep doing this. Like, you know, like we beat, obviously, like we beat CP9 in Enies Lobby, and now we're beating CP0, and we're holding off the Gorosei, so we're like stepping up in terms of strength. Like, it makes sense. But sometimes I do feel like the Marines and the world government are just like nuisances as opposed to real threats. So I would love for Emu to show up and like kill everyone or possess everyone so they're stronger. Like, what if all the Marines start turning into creatures because Emu can do that? Kind of like a redo of what Kaido did with the Smile Fruits. Maybe Emu can just do that with underworld powers or something. I don't even know. But to answer your question, Mr. Bushido, what happens next? Well, we got to figure out the Sunny thing. The Sunny's got to land on the ship the next chapter. The robot's got to have his final moment. We got to have a little bit of dialogue with the Gorosei saying, like, dang, we messed up. We took a big loss today, whatever. So I think we have a couple more chapters, to be honest. But I really want us to get out of here. I'm ready. I'm so ready. The Sunny's floating in the air, just tantalizingly, you know, hanging there until we finally get out of here. So next chapter, I'm expecting a robot chapter next chapter for sure. The robot storyline needs to get to like an end point soon. Oh my gosh. Okay. It happened again. I moved my mouse and then all the super chats popped up. Thank you guys. Mr. Bushido with the €2. Stussy not with Marco. I mean, like, they don't really like each other very much, it feels like, so I wouldn't expect her to be in that panel with him. Where was that at? Up here. I mean, maybe she is listening somewhere else, but, you know, he's, like, with the townspeople, and I feel like Bakken doesn't really get along with them very much. I mean, I know Weevil protected the island, but she's also trying to, like, find money there, which the town doesn't have. Like, they're all poor, and so I guess I don't know if she has a reason to be next to Marco right now, because Marco doesn't want to help her anyway currently. But my money is on her just being somewhere else listening to it, like on the island. She's just by her lonesome, probably crying about Weevil getting taken or something. Mr. Bushido with the €5. I don't think it's man marked by flames. There is no burn marks. Yes, it's shaded, but I feel Oda would highlight the marks for hype like emu eyes. I agree with that too. That's a good point, Mr. Bushido. That's basically another way of saying what I was saying earlier, where, like, if this is the man marked by flames, it's not gonna be a silhouette with him pulling out a sword. It's gonna be him on a black ship, right? Or like you said, him with a burn scar, or him with a poneglyph next to him, right? It's gonna be something where we know that's who it is. Like, it's not gonna be a sword thing. This is kind of like, not the exact same, but kind of like in the recent SBS where they showed Hanafuda and Toritoma, that's her name, right? The missing Amazon Empress. Like, that pretty much concludes to me that those people are not going to be that important. I'm sure they'll be mentioned. I'm sure they'll be shown. King Recon and I talked about this on Redacted if you haven't watched that yet. But I feel like... well, real quick. Kev, I think it says Kev and their viewers just joined. It's a light gray background with white text on it on my thing because I think I have dark mode so I can barely read it. But Kev and his viewers, thank you all for sliding in. Kev, I don't know if you're actually here or not, but I appreciate you. But this silhouette in the corner is kind of like the Toritoma and Hanafuda thing. Like, when Oda showed us those people in an SBS, I'm like, okay, they're not going to be that important. They're going to show up, but, like, that's not Luffy's mom. That's not the man marked by flames. Like, Oda wouldn't show us these important people in an SBS if he's going to reveal them later in a cool moment, right? It's just not how he rolls. And it's kind of like this. Like, this isn't the time and place to reveal the man marked by flames, or at least, like, the silhouette isn't the right situation. So I agree with you, for sure. So yeah, Kev, I don't know if you're actually here, but I'm just gonna say, I went to the One Piece Symphony with Kev over the weekend. I know I mentioned it a couple times. I just want to let you guys know, if you ever have a chance to go to the live One Piece Symphony Orchestra, which it does take place all over the country. So I went to one in DC, but I know there's one in LA. Now they're doing it all over the world. I think Australia's getting one, and somewhere in Europe, I think. So they're doing a lot of these, and I'm just telling you guys, it's worth it. If you have to drive pretty far for it, if you're a big One Piece fan, you should go. They do sing-alongs. I'm not going to spoil everything, but they play all the good songs. They're really, really good. The vibe in the room is immaculate. Kev can attest. It was amazing. Everyone should definitely go if you have the chance, for sure. All right, next super chat again from Mr. Bushido. Shadow Leader of Sword, Dragon. Shadow Leader of Sword, Dragon, Revolutionary, Emu, World Government, Akainu, Marines, this guy's Sword. These four put on their own section on one page, other three on their own page. It's tough because when you say Sword, assuming you're talking about Sword like the Marines, Sword, I don't even know what to call it, but you know what I mean. The thing Kobe is in. I feel like Kobe is the stand-in for Sword there, right? I don't think they would put Sword twice because that's definitely Kobe's thing. They're like, he's the future of the Marines, but obviously he's a Sword member now, and his group is all Sword, right? So he's that stand-in. But we also have Sabo, who is the Revolutionary, so there are two, I guess, in that regard. And if we assume that, I don't know. I could go back and forth, really, on that. I'm not sure. I still think I'm Wang Ji or God's Night. I'm locked in. Vex with the $2 super chat. 4 more chapters of Egghead, like the stream. Bingo piece. Hey man, four's looking like a good number. Like, I'll put it this way. If it takes longer than 4, that's a problem, I feel like. Like, Oda should have no problem wrapping this up in 4 chapters now. There's just... We're getting away, which I still have some questions with, to be honest with you. I know we have a hole in the hull of the ship, which I got a comment on my last stream. I can't remember your name, but you mentioned like it's on the hull, and other people have been saying this. It's on the hull, on the side of the hull, so like it's not sinking right away or whatever. But obviously, with the water crashing around and just the way the ocean is, that's going to start filling up and making the ship sink. And we've been here in the ocean having these massive battles, so I can only imagine water's getting in there. So I really want to know what's going on with that, because I feel like that's just one of the million fires that Oda has created and not put out necessarily. But yeah, if he can't figure it out in 4 chapters, I don't know. I feel like 4 is a good number on the high end. Bushido with the €2. Where was King? How does he have access to a snail? That's a good question. I'm gonna go back up there because I'm not sure if that was him listening or if it was like a thought. Okay, yes, no, he is in jail because he's all hurt and bandaged up. I mean, you think about Doflamingo, and he was like reading the newspaper, right? So I bet you the prison has a snail playing this broadcast, which I know sounds like a dumb thing, but I bet you the guards want to listen, right? And so I'm sure they're just playing it. Because also from the guards' perspective in Impel Down, they don't care about they don't think the prisoners are going to escape. You know what I mean? Like they're not really they probably didn't even think about the fact that the prisoners are hearing this too. But I'm sure that all of Impel Down is hearing this. I'm positive. Because we even saw Doflamingo and Magellan talking about the rise in sea level, right? They were having like a casual conversation about it. So he's in Impel Down listening to the message for sure. Lucky Beetle with the $2. Where's Lafitte now? Next arc, Luffy versus Blackbeard. I got Luffy versus Blackbeard. I think we got Shanks versus Blackbeard first, my guy, for sure. There's no because whenever Luffy fights Blackbeard, if it's like a legitimate the battle, that's the end of Blackbeard, right? Like Luffy is gonna beat him. Like maybe he can lose it first a little bit to Kaido, but like we saw in that arc, it's all contained. Like Luffy eventually beats him in that arc. If that 1v1 actually starts, Luffy's got to beat him. And he can't beat him this early. Blackbeard's got way too much to cook. So I think we got a little while for that. But Blackbeard versus Shanks, I'm down. But as for where Lafitte is, that is the $1 million question, in my opinion. Because we've seen every other Blackbeard pirate across Winter Island, Hachinosu, even Whole Cake, which obviously they went back to Hachinosu. Well, they split up, but Guzan went back to Hachinosu. Saw Augur and Devin at Egghead. So Lafitte's the only one missing. And where is he at? We also didn't see him over at Amazon Lily either. So, I don't know. I still have faith or hope that he's here on Egghead trying to get some Seraphim something figured out. Or maybe taking Punk Records for himself. I honestly don't know. But we're getting so close to the end that I'm starting to doubt that Lafitte is here. But I don't know where else he would be. Because, unless he's sneaking back into Marijois, which isn't the craziest idea because the Gorosei aren't there. And if he snuck in to Marijois before, when everyone was there, including the warlords at that point, or the ones that they still had, maybe he snuck back in? I'm not really sure. Also, Time Lord, excuse me. Don't think I missed your stuff on Twitch. And also, Vex, I see you over there too. Over on Twitch real quick. Excuse me, guys. Hold on. Whew. Okay, better now. I inhaled into the wrong pipe or something. Time Lord with the 69 bits. Very nice. It's finally happened. The prophecy has been fulfilled. The legendary warrior, Shanks Brother, Blue Moon, Dank Sake has returned. Jokes aside, I love the trifecta of things Roger talked about in Logtown have chapter names. Chapter 145 was Inherited Will. Oh, chapter 225 is People's Dreams, and chapter 1121, The Ebb and Flow of the Ages. I love that. I did not even know that there was 2 other ones, so now this completes a trifecta, and now I want to go back and reread 145 and 225, because I wonder if we can merge them together in some way to have some tinfoil theories, you know what I'm saying? So I might have to go look at that. So interesting. Wonder what that means for the story. Perhaps it means that the One Piece is now possible to be found, assuming 4 road poneglyphs. What do you think? I mean, I think that the man marked by flames is getting revealed very soon. I don't think he's here at the bottom of the chapter, but I mean, this is a race to go find the man marked by flames for a lot of these guys, right? Because Shanks has, well, we know Shanks has at least 2 of them from Wano and Whole Cake. The Zoe one, we aren't really sure. I mean, he's like friends with Neko and Inuyasha, right? Or I would presume. So like, I wouldn't shock me if he just got it there. And then Blackbeard probably has 3 from Law, and Luffy obviously has 3. Buggy's just gonna find some way to cheat through this. So this is time for the man marked by flames. That's what I think. I'm ready for Masked Deuce to appear. And if you guys saw my Sphinx Island video, you know, I brought up why Masked Deuce might appear in that arc, because if he is the man marked by flames, the last place we saw him was Sphinx Island. So, you know, we're gonna see. I'm hoping that's what happens. The hole in the hull of the ship, which I gotta say, that's not easy to say. Hole in the hull. Like, hurts my tongue. But that might make us stop at Sphinx Island, and then maybe that's somehow, you know, the man marked by flames pulls up at that point. I don't know, but I don't know. I love this though. This race for the One Piece thing. Like, that's what One Piece is all about, man. This is what we've been waiting for 1,100 chapters. You know what I mean? This is it. Like, it's been a race for the One Piece since the start, but now it's much more urgent, and I don't even know what the right. It's happening soon. You know what I mean? So this is hype. And Vex, just so I don't forget, I'm gonna go ahead and do your Twitch thing also, even though it's out of order. You said cheers 69, so very nice. Cheers, my man. Hope you're doing well. Partha Vadlamani. I hope I said that right. Partha. Appreciate you. Member for 19 months. I never say your last name because Partha's way easier, but Vadlamani sounds like I'm saying it pretty close to right. Glad y'all finally know Isa is an ancient weapon. I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. Please. It makes sense, right? This, like, no offense to Vivi, because I get the Uranus idea with Vivi, with making it rain at the end of Alabasta, or at least that's like the idea. I get it, and I see why it makes sense, but I think Isa just makes more sense. Isa is from the sky. I already said the observation hockey stuff. I already mentioned the Vivi Pluton connections. I think it just makes more sense. And if that is what Oda's hinting, I'm gonna freaking love that. Because also we see Nola in the background here, who I think is like basically Uranus's parent, I guess. If the egg that Roger had is Uranus, then I bet you it's from Nola, and it's the Uranus is gonna look like something like that. But either way, I don't know. I'm ready. I'm ready for Isa hype. I feel like she's one of the most forgotten characters in One Piece because she was like so important, but like she didn't really stand out that much, but she was extremely important. So I feel like she's slept on for sure. ZMP with the $2 super chat. Imagine it's Scopper with Roger's sword. That would be sacrilegious, man. Please no. Please, Oda, please. Anything but that. Because it does kind of look like Ace, you know, Roger's sword. Which, like, it's just because it just has the handle, right? It's a saber, right? Is that what it's called? I think it's a saber. But you know, Shanks and I mean, we've seen a lot of them, but I think the only named ones we've seen are Ace and Griffin. So I don't know. I mean, I doubt it, but man, Scopper, please stay far away. Stay at Lodestar, Scopper. That's where we want you. RQ, join the Afro Gang. Am I saying your name right? RQ? I'm not sure exactly how to say it, but appreciate you for joining the Afro Gang. Thank you very much. I don't see a message attached to it, but well, here, I see one down here, so I'll answer this for you. What happened to the 3 Seraphims that were sent to Empty Bluffs? Did Cross Guild no-diff them, or did Oda forget about them LMAO? Very good question. I didn't even think about that, to be honest with you. I'm gonna scroll back up there. I already passed it, didn't I? Yeah, okay, that's the beginning. Where is it at? It's right after the Shanks thing, right? Yeah, it's right here. I'm betting that the Seraphim just haven't even, like, attacked yet. You know what I mean? because like they also haven't even left the island. They're still on empty bluffs, which I feel like, you know, we saw the ship get made in 1082, I think, and so now that we know the ship is made, it's like, okay, well, they gotta go ride it and take it out to sea and start doing stuff, right? They gotta start making moves, and so they should be leaving soon. And if the Seraphim came and attacked and they defeated them, I feel like Oda would 100% have them take off, because like obviously empty bluffs is they got, like, they're getting attacked, you know what I mean? It's better to be a moving target and go out to sea and have a sea battle as opposed to just staying stationary, right, whenever the enemy knows where you're at. So I feel like the Seraphim just haven't even attacked yet. I'm gonna be honest with you. But it is weird though, because like whenever we saw them going to empty bluffs, it seemed like they were like very close or like right on the doorstep about to attack. So this might just be a weird timing thing from Oda, because he's had a few of these where like, you know, because we've crossed over like a day from a certain time period, and it's like the movement of things don't really make sense sometimes. But so that's what I'm going. I think they just haven't attacked yet. I think we're gonna get that soon, to be honest. Unintelligent design with the 10 Australian dollars. I believe that's what the A means. Dak, this is Liam. How do you pronounce this? Because you've been around since day one, man. And I think your name used to be Conquest Comics, I believe, right? But whenever I saw you on Discord, I never knew how to pronounce your name. Is it Diogenes or Diogenes? I honestly don't know. So please enlighten me, because I'm very curious. Because I've debated it in my head so many times. It could be Diogenes or Diogenes or something completely else, or completely different. I honestly don't know. But the manga guy. Oh yeah, I remember you, bro. My Discord account was hacked. I no longer have control over it. It would be wise to ban it so it doesn't put anyone else at risk. Oh, that is good to know. So you're Diogenes, however you pronounce that on Discord. Are you going to make a new account or something? I'm really glad you told me though, because I don't know if he talked about it publicly, so I don't want to say it, but I know another creator got hacked before, and they actually sent me messages asking for like help with something. And I was asleep, but I woke up and I almost did it. But then the person messaged me from a different account, said, hey, I got hacked. If they sent you a message, don't do anything. And the message definitely, like, I'm not saying I would have got scammed, but I definitely, like, would have clicked a malicious link or something, because I would have thought it was him. So I'm actually really glad you told me. So thank you. And you even donated for it, which is super awesome. So thank you. If you rejoin the Discord under a different account, definitely let me know so I can give you the same roles as before, for sure. Thank you for that. Seriously. That means a lot. Lucky Beetle with the $5. Oh, it went away. Now it's back. I believe Cobra is alive for Emu wants Vivi, so it makes sense. Wait, so you think? Well, I guess why would Emu want Cobra alive? To like pull Vivi back? Is that what you're saying? Like a hostage situation, maybe? Do you think Joy Boy is similar to the Sage of Six Paths from Naruto? Emu blows up and kills elders. By the way, I love when you guys jam-pack the super chats with as many ideas as possible. I love it. Do I think Joy Boy is similar to the Sage of Six Paths from Naruto? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I have seen all of Naruto, and I enjoy Naruto. And let me tell you right now, Might Guy is one of my favorite characters in anime history, bar none. And Rock Lee also, but Might Guy is just... That's my number one in Naruto. It's not even that close, to be honest with you. Rock Lee would have stayed number one forever if he didn't like disappear in Shippuden, whatever the right way to pronounce it is, because that man was like a star in the tuning exams, right? I can't remember, and then he just disappeared. But Might Guy, anyways. The reason I say that is I don't know Naruto that well, so I don't know all the ins and outs of the Sage of Six Paths. I know what it looks like, and I know where it comes into play in the story. I just don't know the ins and outs. I'm going to say no. I don't think it's similar to the Sage of Six Paths. Doesn't the Sage of Six Paths get like nature energy or something like that, or like life energy or something to that effect? Maybe I'm completely wrong. But I think that's it, right? It's like nature, life, something, right? And I don't think... Because the equivalent to that, if I am right, would be like Joy Boy gets power up from like people's wishes or wants, or like, you know, maybe like a spirit bomb type ordeal, right? That's how I'm sort of viewing it a little bit, like a spirit bomb from Dragon Ball. I don't think it's that. I think all of Luffy's power is from within. I think it's all his own haki. Sage of Six Paths was considered a god in Naruto. You see, I don't think if you're talking about the god element of it, like that he is, you know, like so far above, or like the way his powers work, it's like he's like a god to everyone else or whatever. I'm a big believer that Nika isn't even a real being. Like, someone got confused for Nika, and so the legend started, and it's not really a person. This is just something else that we're still learning about, but it's just is construed to be Nika. And so I would say no. I think that this is all, it's all just, you know, Luffy being Luffy to the Luffyest degree, and that's it. And I don't, but now I could be wrong though, because even like in this chapter, where was it, where like Bonnie is going off on Saturn, and I misread it in the wrong order, where she's like, how dare you call yourself a god? Real gods do exist, real heroes too. And actually I gotta say, even right here where it says real gods exist, real heroes too, we know Luffy doesn't even want to be a hero. And he is a hero, but he's also not, because like, he doesn't do it to be a hero. He does it because he just wants to protect his friends and stuff, which is a totally different thing. So even in this thing, we're kind of getting a hint that maybe gods aren't what we really think they are. Like, maybe they're gods because people say it, but they're not really. So I guess I would say no. But then the last thing you said, Emeth blows up and kills the elders. I love that. He's not gonna, all the elders aren't gonna die. Like, I don't see any world where all of them die, but one of them dying, or at least getting hurt to where there's permanent damage, 100% on that. 100%. If anyone is gonna have a way to hurt the Gorosei, it should be the ancient robot running on ancient energy. So I'm with you on that one. Dreams Never Die 95. Oh, and 3-Day, real quick, 3-Day, thank you for saying you banned Diogenes, whatever it is, Diogenes, whatever it is, I don't know. But yeah, get in touch. We'll figure out your new Discord thing. Thank you, 3-Day, for that. Dreams Never Die 95. All right, now we're getting back to this. With the $10 super chat, which Paramecia Devil Fruit do you believe S-Croc carries? I feel it might be Magellan Poison Fruit, and I feel this might notch the cross skill to free Doflamingo from Impel Down. I do like that idea that if S-Croc has the poison fruit, that somehow that would tie back to Impel Down, because obviously Magellan's there, right? Now, as far as the fruit that S-Croc has, I like the Magellan idea. I don't know if you saw Randy Troy's video about this from like a year ago, probably now, or probably like a year ago. He went through a lot, like his top 5 ideas, or maybe 10 ideas, and I liked a lot of those, and I think his number 1 was the poison fruit, because Croc already had a poison hook, so it kind of fits in right there. And Magellan obviously was Impel Down, so, you know, he's obviously not a prisoner, he works for the government, but regardless, it just fits into the theme of like taking powers from Impel Down people, right? So it makes a lot of sense. If it isn't Magellan's poison fruit, then I'm a big fan of Ivankov's fruit, because it just think about the jokes, right? Because we all have the Croco Mom jokes. We know Ivankov has, you know, Crocodile's secret and all that stuff. So then if S-Croc pulls up on the real Croc with Ivankov's powers, that's just going to be just like, Croc will not be able to think through that. You know, I love Croc. I'm all for Croc to get all the hype possible in the final saga here. But if he sees S-Croc pull up with the hormone powers, that dude he's done. You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to be able to fight him properly. Like, he's going to be so mentally confused or thrown off or whatever, right? Or he's going to start having a flashback to the Ivankov secret. So I like that one. But as for the Cross Guild, you know, maybe going to go free Doflamingo and all that, I still think that's going to be Marco. I just don't see a reason for Cross Guild to go there, because like, obviously getting Doflamingo would be cool and would be helpful and all that, but like, going in Impel Down and breaking out is like almost impossible, and the Cross Guild should know that more than anyone. And B, they have no guarantee that Doflamingo would join. Like, sure, they could give him the proposition, hey, we're going to save you, either join us or we're not going to save you. And yeah, Dofi might take him up on that, but then you also have to think, like, Dofi's a terrible person. Even if he does agree up front, he could still just, you know, go lie about it and, like, you know, change his mind later. So for me, I don't see a lot of reason for Cross Guild to break into Impel Down, but I see reason for those people who get freed from Impel Down to then, you know, be like, well, we got to go find, you know, a horse to bet on here, you know, like, we got to join one of these crews or whatever. We got to figure out something. And so they would all want to join somebody, and the Cross Guild would probably be the one that makes the most sense. I just think Cross Guild breaking in is like such a scary proposition for them. So, but yeah, I can't wait to see S-Croc though. S-Croc and S-Bat. S-Bat or S-Gecko, whatever. I prefer S-Gecko, but that's the one I really want to see, because it's going to be the shadow powers, but at the same time, I want to see someone use the shadow powers a little more competently, you know, because like Moria had some good ideas, but they weren't the best ideas. JR Writer 323 with the 20th super chat ever on a live stream. I'm very honored, my friend. Thank you. Do you think Emu is going to reprimand the Gorosei, or is Stella's death enough to say this was still a success? Vegapunk got his whole speech out almost. I love this question. At the very beginning of the arc, I would have said, like, there's no way. I would have said Emu probably understands how history works and understands how Nika works, and probably wouldn't hold it against the Gorosei, because obviously the Gorosei are putting their best foot forward here. And, like, at least I feel like that's a safe assumption. They've definitely made a few, you know, oddball mistakes here, but for the most part, they're trying to do the right thing in terms of what Emu wants. But, you know, I think now that we actually see the Gorosei kind of like getting beat up, because like it'd be one thing for the crew to escape because they got really, really lucky. That's like kind of what I thought. I was like, okay, well, if something absolutely unexpected that nobody could have predicted happens, and Luffy and co escape because of that, or like Dragon pulls up and maybe Dragon is just obscenely strong and whatever, then I could see Emu not being that mad. But now that I've seen the way that it's gone down, and I've seen just how many things they messed up on and stuff like that, like they had goals to get Punk Records, York, and the Power Station, which they could technically get all three still, but I have a hard time believing they're going to get all three and stop Luffy. They're just probably not going to stop Luffy at this point. So what I'm getting at is I can see the Gorosei getting reprimanded, but is it going to be as simple as like what does reprimanding look like? Is that just Emu telling him like one more mess up and you're all dead? Is that Emu removing one of the five just as like a example, like, hey, if y'all don't get your act together, this is happening to all of you? You know, I'm really not sure. The thing that I like is the idea that Garling replaces one of them, because Garling is he's the leader of the God's Knights, but he's also really old, and I just feel like if there was ever anyone to get added to the Gorosei, it would have to be him. And because he's old, I feel like he shouldn't just be a swordsman. He should have more to it, because just with the way it's worked in One Piece, whenever you get really old, you tend to get weaker, right? And not that it's like super substantial, but that's just kind of the idea. And so if Garling can then be, you know, maybe get these immortality powers or get a special zone form or whatever, and then his old age doesn't really hurt him anymore, I think that would just be a really kind of interesting thing, especially because Shanks met the Gorosei, and then imagine Garling becomes a Gorosei, and then what if Shanks goes back to meet them and he's like, wow, fancy seeing you again. You know, like there's a lot of cool stuff there. So I don't know. I don't know how it would work. I just like the idea that Garling replaces him. I think I got caught up on the super chats, which is good. Also, thank you to everyone who... Oh, I just messed up the focus. Thank you everyone who subscribed also during the stream. There were quite a few of you. I know some of you are doing it because you can't chat without being a subscriber, and some of you are probably watching videos and it just pops up just as if it was during the stream. Just want to say thank you. I did see another regular chat that I wanted to get to. Where was it? Well, I wasn't going to answer this. This wasn't the one originally, but Izanami 037, you said, why would Marco free Doflamingo? Well, he's going to go down to go free Weevil, but then he's probably going to need Doflamingo's help to get out, is the idea. He's not going in there just for Doflamingo. Like, that's not the purpose. It's Weevil, but then it's just by virtue of him going down to level 6 and freeing someone, we could have a parallel to Impel Down, you know, the first arc of it, where Luffy goes down to go save Ace, his brother, and he finds out Ace isn't there, and then Crocodile from behind him starts laughing and is like, I'll help you get out of here, you know, if you help me escape, I'll help you escape, kind of thing. And I think Doflamingo, being the parallel to Crocodile that he is, it would make a lot of sense for Marco to go down there, free Weevil, have the same situation where Doflamingo does the same thing as Croc, and they all get out together. But there was another one I wanted to answer. Oh yeah, Ethan. You said Ethan Baron V Nostro. You said, has the Egghead incident already happened? I don't think so. I didn't one of Oda's editors recently say that the incident is still coming and it's going to be really crazy? I want to say I saw that. Something like that, right? Like, there's going to be something else that happens that blows all of your minds. I'm pretty sure he said that. So, and I don't think anything here has really been incident worthy, to be honest. Like it's incident worthy in terms of the government, like they didn't want this to happen. This is really bad news for them, but I don't think it's incident worthy in terms of like usually an incident is like an island blew up or people got wiped out or something like that, right? Like the Lelucia incident, that's incident worthy. The O'Hara incident, that's incident worthy. Rocky Port, we don't really fully understand all that, but I feel like the leader of Rocky Port changing's a massive thing, so incident probably makes sense there. There's usually like a huge thing, and this speech is really cool, but I don't know if people, this speech could have happened anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if people are going to relate this to Egghead in their minds around the world. They're just going to relate it to Vegapunk in general. But if we have the Egghead incident, then I wonder, you know, like, is it going to blow up? That makes the most sense to me. And that actually ties into the super chat from Matt, your third super ever on a live stream. So Matt, I'm very honored. Do you think Kuma is toast? He did smile in this chapter. Did he smile, though? Are you talking about... Hold on. I just want to make sure I didn't miss it. Are you talking about this panel right after Luffy and Bonnie do the combined attack on Saturn? He still doesn't really have much emotion. I feel like that, because it's almost a frown, but I feel like it's just like straight-faced. So I guess I would say I do think he's toast. But like, he's not dead right now, but he's toast in the sense of he is going to die. And something that I've been talking about a little bit, like on Discord, I don't think I've talked about it on a video. Maybe I did last stream. I think Kuma is a parallel for the ancient robot in that they both are probably running on ancient energy unbeknownst to Vegapunk. Like, I think they're both humans turned into robots, and thus you have robots running on human will, which is probably the ancient power source. And so I just don't think Vegapunk has put all that together, but I think that's what's going on. And so tying this together, we have the ancient robot, you know, who's about to blow up or whatever, on the shore, like stopping the Gorosei. I think Kuma doing something similar, or maybe like the robot is about to blow up, but he doesn't, and then Kuma takes his place and finishes the job. Or maybe Kuma like latches onto Saturn and just blows up and finishes him off for good, so Saturn dies, and that leads into the Garling taking a Gorosei spot, stuff like I said from earlier. You know, there's a lot of fun ways that could end, but I do think Kuma's cooked. It's just, if Kuma doesn't die here, it's gonna feel weird if it happens anywhere else. And if Kuma lives through this, I don't even know. We probably just shouldn't even see Bonnie ever again. They should just go hang out and adventure together for the rest of the story. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know what Kuma would do. So I hope he just blows up soon. I'm not gonna lie. Branks said, oh, okay, well, hold on. Now, okay, there we go. He said, keep cooking, Dak. Branks, I appreciate you, man. I don't know what I was cooking about that you thought I was cooking on, but I'm glad you said that. I appreciate you. Matt, you said his face changes. Is it after that panel? Because he's still frowning in that one. So I'm curious, do we see it again and I'm just missing it? Or I don't think so. I see him right there. Right, okay, there he is. Do we see him? I mean, there's a flashback. Oh yeah, no, it looks pretty much the same, I think. They're both like, I guess they're frowns, but they could be, you know, it's just Oda's version of a straight face because he's like a robot that got turned off, I guess. Because we see him from behind here. It looks like he still has a frown. We see him here on the right. It looks like he's frowning in all of them. Maybe it is slightly different, but whenever we saw Kuma protecting Bonnie in chapter like 1103 or 4, Kuma Kuma went down on one knee to like hold Bonnie and protect her. And in between the panels, he swapped the knee that Kuma was on. He was like on the left knee, and then the right knee, and then the left knee again, and then both knees. And I was like, okay, Oda, where's the continuity here? So I feel like the smile changes here are small enough to where I think it might just be Oda just doing his thing. But I'm ready for any Kuma hype. I'm gonna be honest with you. Lucky Beetle, I love this question. Do you think Yarouge will be Luffy's ally or enemy? I think at first he will be an enemy because that's like generally how it starts with the supernova, right? They start off as a presumed enemy and then after a discussion they become an ally. It's almost like every time. Like Bonnie is maybe the one example where that didn't happen. But like they you know, if you count Saba Odi maybe, but like whenever we met her, like we helped her and then we were kind of like friendly with her to begin with. But like you think about X Drake, he was technically a Toby Ropo, and then he ended up swapping sides to help the Straw Hats halfway through the battle. Hawkins never swapped sides, so that's not a really good example there. Apu never joined our side, but he was an enemy and then kind of helped our side because he started working with Drake and all that stuff, right? So it's not like he helped the Straw Hats, but generally speaking, the Supernovas start on the other team and then start helping us as the arc goes on. And so I think whenever we meet Yarouge, he's gonna be like we saw him say Blackbeard is the eye of the storm or something after Marineford. And so I think he's probably pro Blackbeard right now, but then I bet after he meets Luffy, he's gonna like connect some dots and be like, okay, wait a second, this guy is serious. Because I'm a big believer that Yarouge has been worshiping sun god Nika, because you go back to Burka, which is where he's from. Burka is the same name as the Moon City, which we know all the sky people came down from. Obviously, we know the Shandians worshipped a sun god, right? So you just think about all these things. I'm just like, it would make a lot of sense for Yarouge to worship a sun god. He's also like a priest, and it just, I don't know. So I think Yarouge is going to start by not liking Luffy. He's going to realize Luffy's sun god Nika, and then he's going to be our ally. And also, Yarouge is just like too hype. He's my favorite supernova that's not Law or a Straw Hat. And I just, he's got to be on the good side. He has to. I'm going to be too disappointed if he doesn't. Branks, yeah, he said Kid is another example. Very true. Very, very true. And like he was kind of forced into it, right? Which I think somebody's saying, but he was even forced into it in regards to like, even when they were in the like, he never really agreed to work with them. He just kind of got roped into it, right? Like Kid, like Law agreed on an alliance and like we're on the same team with Luffy. Kid never, like Kid tried killing Luffy like the second the arc or like the battle ended. Remember, like they were having that celebration and the fireworks went off and all that. But regardless, yeah, a lot of the Supernova do that. They transition to our team over time instead of starting that way. So, Matt, earlier you said, I'm probably reaching. I'm just holding out hope for him to hold on to his life. Hey, man, you don't die till you're forgotten. That's all. You're gonna have to hang your hat on that for a little bit because I think Kuma is he's on the way out. Dreams Never Die 95. That is the most recent one, right? Okay. There have been many symbolisms with Shanks and the mythical creature Griffin, which are known to guard treasures. Do you believe Shanks is the actual last challenge for Luffy before for the One Piece? That's interesting. I like that the Griffin connection there. I never really looked into the mythology of the Griffin before, but that actually that'd probably be good to look at, especially if you saw the last episode of the anime where Shanks fought Kid. So I guess brief spoilers for that episode if you guys haven't seen it yet. So just like for 5 seconds, cover your ears. But whenever Shanks attacks Kid, a giant like a griffin thing pops out and like flies over to Kid, and then Shanks is like inside that griffin thing, right? It was super hype, but obviously, you know, I mean, it's just the anime hyping it up, but the griffin stuff should matter because obviously it's his sword's name regardless. So but as for Shanks being the last challenge for Luffy before the One Piece, I'm starting to think that Shanks and Luffy don't even have a fight, to be honest with you. I'm thinking that Shanks goes and fights Blackbeard and loses, because I think a lot of us view it as like impossible for Shanks and Luffy to not have a fight eventually. But I think that is what's gonna make it hit really hard, is if Blackbeard beats Shanks, because you think about Blackbeard, like, he always hurts Luffy's family, right? Or friends, but, you know, they're close enough to be family to him. Well, like, Shanks is the friend that's like family, but there's, even specifically for his family, you look at Ace. Obviously, Blackbeard beat Ace, and that led to Ace's death. He didn't actually kill him, but you know what I mean. And then Garp, it's Kuzan who did it, but regardless, it's the Blackbeard pirates who captured Garp. And so then to complete that trifecta and go even further, and he actually captured Kobe originally, who was also close to Luffy, so it, you know, kind of the same thing a little bit. And then for Shanks, for Blackbeard to then beat Shanks and kill him, so Luffy doesn't get to have the moments that he thought he was going to have with Shanks, and for this like uber strong person that Luffy never thought anyone would defeat, like, that's like, Shanks is my top target, like, I need to get on Shanks level and then I can be Pirate King. Like, that's generally what Luffy's thinking. Like, Shanks is the epitome of pirate strength, right? But for him to lose to Blackbeard, it builds that angst even more. So I think Shanks is talking about protecting treasure. I think he might be doing that for Blackbeard, like trying to be the one to stop Blackbeard from getting it, but then Blackbeard will beat him, and then that'll give Blackbeard, you know, a chance to go get the One Piece, but then it'll be up to Luffy to go and stop him. And now, how is that all going to work out? Like, what's the timing of events there? I think that's really hard to nail down. Like are Luffy and Blackbeard going to fight at Laugh Tale for the One Piece? Is Luffy going to get there first and take it, then Blackbeard will be mad and chasing Luffy, or vice versa? Like, I'm not really sure how that's all going to go down, but I just think Shanks losing to Blackbeard's got to be, it's got to be soon. You know, it's got to happen first. Kuya, you said if Luffy sees Shanks in his last breath, that could be a passing of the torch moment. That is basically what I think. Because something else I brought up in my Shanks vs. Blackbeard video is, like, the idea is Luffy's gonna give the hat back to Shanks, right? But there's no way that actually happens, because he's Straw Hat Luffy. Like, Luffy is not gonna give up the hat. It's just, for marketing purposes alone, Oda's not gonna have Luffy without the Straw Hat. You know what I mean? It just isn't gonna happen. It's like Ash without Pikachu. It just, you know, it's just not gonna happen. And so I actually like what you're saying, Kuya, because you could have Shanks dying and Luffy gets there right before Shanks actually dies, and Luffy can give the hat back, like, temporarily, and Shanks could be like, I know you could do it. And then Shanks dies and Luffy's like, well, I guess I got to take this hat to the final stop now, you know, or whatever. So yeah. And Mobius Chungus, you said Shanks knows Blackbeard's heritage. 100%. 100%. I think Shanks, when he went and met the Gorosei, assuming that is Shanks, I know we have the Shanks brothers theory going on, but assuming that is Shanks, I think when Shanks went to the Gorosei, he told them what, like I need to talk to you about a certain pirate. He told them about Blackbeard and told them that Blackbeard's lineage is special. And that's why when Katarina Devon was talking to Saturn said his lineage is special. It's because Shanks told him not that long ago at the Reverie. And so I agree with you. Shanks knows about Blackbeard's heritage. And in my Blackbeard's lineage video that I recently did about why Blackbeard doesn't sleep, basically, I brought up how, you know, we heard about the people in the snow country who don't sleep. And they die if they sleep. And whenever Ace met Shanks, where was Shanks? In a snowy country. It was like a desolate, snowy island country that was called, like, it was like Snow Dragon Island or something. Like, it had a dragon in the background, or like a mountain shaped like that or something. So yeah, I 100%. Shanks has been researching Blackbeard's lineage this whole time. That's where I'm at. Bad rap sample. If Pikachu didn't go Raichu, Luffy's not going hatless. Beautiful, beautiful example. Like, yeah, that's it. Yes, 100%. Like, Ash and Pikachu is equivalent to Luffy and the Straw Hat, like 100%. I would, I would bet so much money if Vegas had One Piece betting lines, which that would be toxic as hell. But if they did, I would put a lot of money on Luffy never losing the Straw Hat. You know, now Luffy giving the Straw Hat to Shanks, I mean, that could happen for a moment, and then I would lose the bet. So I don't know if I'd bet on that. But well, Luffy's always going to have it for sure. Let's see. I saw one other thing I wanted to mention. Wade Seba, or Wade Seba, I'm not sure how to say it, but do you think Blackbeard might be a Buccaneer? Definitely. But I don't think Blackbeard is just Buccaneer. I think it would make a lot of sense if Blackbeard was a mix of like all the lineages that are really important. Like, he doesn't necessarily look Lunarian, you know what I mean? He has black hair, which is automatically, like, you know, we always think white hair with Lunarians. But I think there's a world where he's going to be a mix of a lot of the things the government hates, and that's going to make him like the perfect villain for them. Like, you know, not that we have any confirmation of this, but wouldn't it be kind of cool if Blackbeard was part fishman and could breathe in the water, and that's why he has all these devil fruits, is he doesn't care if he falls in? Or maybe he wants Kaido's fruit for that reason, if he actually does. I mean, we don't know that, but, you know, because it's a fish fruit. And I've been theorizing since my first video that the fish fruit lets you breathe in water, so even if you do go in the water, you won't die. So, like, you know, I don't know. I just think there's a lot of things where, like, Blackbeard's always, like, the schemer type to have everything in the right place and a mastermind, so he has all the cheat codes, you know what I mean? Like he plays Grand Theft Auto, like, where he gets the 5 stars and then immediately puts the code in to make him stop, and he gets unlimited weapons. Like, that's how Blackbeard would play Grand Theft Auto. And so with all like these lineages that we've seen in One Piece, and these lineages give you advantages, like fishmen can swim in the water and breathe in the water. Buccaneers have something really special with their blood that we don't really know about. I mean, giants are just like really strong, which Buccaneers are part giant, apparently, like a hybrid of some kind. You know, Lunarians are just tough and can breathe fire, or, you know, control fire and whatever. So a lot of these lineages have really powerful traits, and it makes sense to me that a guy who's getting devil fruits to get all these special traits, he might just be a mix of these different races to begin with. So I think there's going to be multiple things. Birch, you said, I've seen One Piece betting lines advertised on Twitter. That's toxic. I'm not gonna lie. It's toxic enough in sports. We don't need it in One Piece. With that being said, I do own a lot of stocks. All right, and now is investing in stocks gambling? Sometimes, but it's better than just normal gambling. So I'll buy the stocks, but I won't make the bets. Day, you said Blackbeard's from the demon race. That's how he's immune to the devil fruit curse. Now, do you think there's actually... Because, like, I guess when I think demon race, I think, like, you know, the like Onis are a little bit like a demon race because they have the horns, and, like, maybe even the Lunarians are a little bit like a demon race because they have, like, black wings and can control fire and stuff. It's almost like they're, like, from, like, the core of the earth or something. And so, do you think there's, like, a single race of demons, or do you think, like, I could see a world where, like, the demon race is a mix of specific races. Like if you are definitely part Lunarian, maybe part Oni, and part, like, Fishman or Buccaneer or something. Maybe, like, those combined give you some crazy mix of traits that are, like, the ultimate being. I don't know. My nose just really started running, like, for no reason. Maybe because, like, the weather was kind of cold today. I don't know. For anyone who lives in my part of the U.S., which I live in the Midwest, it's been so hot lately, guys, and I've been running a lot. And today was, like, the first cold day in a while. It was, like, 60-something, and it felt amazing. That's mainly all I got to say. 3-day, you said actual demon race can eat multiple devil fruits. I mean, I think that'd be really interesting. It's just, you know, we haven't, well, obviously we haven't seen it yet, because if it's, I mean, they would have to save it, but I mean, you think back to, actually, to build on that, now that I think about it a little bit more, you think back to the Snow Country thing, where they said, like, people from snow countries die if they sleep, and we know Blackbeard doesn't sleep, so obviously there could be a tie-in there. Well, tying back to the demon idea, we know that hell is really cold in One Piece, right? It's frozen. And so people from snow countries don't sleep, so Blackbeard might be from a snowy place, which could be a demon-related place. I could see that. And I wonder, like, what if someone came up from the underworld and had a kid with someone from the normal world, and that's it, you know? I don't know. Oh, my guy, Adam Tree. Hey, man, we might be seeing you soon, Adam Tree, over in Elbaf. You said, getting here late, starting from the beginning right now. Best chapter I've ever read, 1 million out of 10. It was a fantastic chapter, dude, for sure. I'm sad we have a break week, but kind of clutch so I can get this video done, not gonna lie. Because I was actually sitting here today, like, I really want to get started on this video. Like, I know generally what I'm gonna say, but I was like, just like last week with my Lodestar one, the chapter really helped that video, at least in my opinion. The Clover stuff did. And so I was debating in my head, like, should I start now or should I wait till I, you know, get to see the next chapter? But now I can just go ahead and get started. So I'm honestly kind of pumped. But it was a great chapter for sure. Adam, thank you for sliding in as always. And you're not here late, man. Whenever you get here, it's right on time. You know, the party don't start till you get here. Bad rap sample. You said RAC was crying harder than a One Piece character last week. Snot nose and everything. Dude, shout out to the air conditioners. We just got to be honest. Like, come on. Major what would we do without the air conditioner? Also, fans. Don't sleep on fans. If you guys have a good ceiling fan and you have it rotating the correct way, because you're supposed to change it between winter and summer, if you have it going the right way, a ceiling fan can make like a 10+ degree difference right away. Just major shout out to air control. You know what I'm saying? Any kind of temperature control. Major shout out. I don't know what I'd be like, especially window unit air conditioners. Like, come on, man. You just plug that in the window and it works. Major shout out. That's why the aircon at an Egghead is super amazing too, man. Imagine having that at your house. Imagine just like a statewide air conditioner. Matt, you said, are you happier with your cut now, Dak? I am. You know, well, a lot of people at work and such have complimented it, so I can't say I dislike it now, you know. They weren't complimenting my hair before. I mean, not that they were making fun of my hair before, but you know, once some people, you know, mention it, you know, it's hard not to start liking it. And also it's grown in a little bit more. I mean, why don't I just, you know, we can just, oh, the hair's all flat now, but no, I gotta fix that. That's not that bad. It's a little flat because of the hat, but it's filling in much better. I'll probably get that same cut again next time, but I'll get it maybe like a little bit longer. Yep, yeah, exactly, Matt. Like I got like I think it was like a 1.5 is like the lowest on the side. That's like a little short. Maybe I should do like a 2 or a 3 is the shortest, but regardless. Wade, you said your hair looks very nice, man. Y'all are just making my day now. Thank you. Y'all are way too nice. For real. And Kev DOG said it looked good too, I think, whenever I saw him on Saturday at the Orchestra, the Symphony. So that was cool too. Here, Drew Vaughn, I see you've been trying to get a message through. I'll go ahead and read it because yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay. Mods, thank you for modding. Thank you. I appreciate it. Drew Vaughn, I'll read this one anyway because I know you've been trying to get this through. And Wano, Shanks says we claim One Piece after seeing Nika form, and now Vegapunk says Joy Boy is not necessary to find One Piece. 2-minute silence for Shanks. I mean, well, hold on. Well, the first part. that is interesting, the first part, honestly, now that I think about it, because like Shanks, you know, I guess you could read it as like Shanks got a confirmation that Joy Boy was alive, or Joy Boy had returned. So he's like, okay, now we can go get the One Piece. Like, now that Joy Boy's here, we're all good. So that actually, I agree with that. But then the other part, like, Joy Boy's not necessary to find the One Piece. I think he's more so saying that, like, whoever finds it is going to get to do what they want with it. Only Joy Boy is going to do the right thing. Like, only Joy Boy would know. And not that Luffy actually knows, it's just that he is Joy Boy, right? Like, his will is the same, his personality is the same, whatever. And so he's going to take the right action. So I think it's a little bit of a different message there, but I actually do like that whole point that, like, soon as Shanks saw Joy Boy or knew that Joy Boy was back, he's ready to go get the One Piece. There's probably a reason why there. And I mean, it could just be that, like, he knows Luffy is ready or something, but I wonder if there's more to it. But yeah, guys, like the mods are saying, please don't spam the messages. That will make it less likely to answer. I'm gonna answer this time. I'm gonna answer this time in an attempt to extend the olive branch so that you don't spam next time. Because sometimes I do miss the chats, and I know you guys really want me to read it. So just spread them out. That's all. You know, every few minutes. But you said, I was rereading Fishman Island, I presume, and remember that Luffy doesn't know Nami's backstory, and I thought, is Oda saying that Luffy doesn't care, or he knows something in Nami's backstory? That's interesting. So I want to maybe reread that exact panel, or like the context of the discussion, because I don't remember that, but I know there was, like, I could believe it, though, I guess is what I'm saying, because I know Nami, like, especially with, like, the Jinbei discussion where Jinbei kind of apologized for what Arlong was doing or whatever, right? I know there was, like, a lot of discussions with Nami in that arc. I just don't remember that specific thing. But either way, so you said, I thought Oda's saying that Luffy doesn't care or he knows something. I think that Luffy doesn't care, but he does care at the same time, right? Like, Luffy could go his whole life without being told, but if Nami wanted to tell him, I think he would care and would listen. So I think it's more so just, you know, we don't even really know Nami's full backstory. Like, we know the Kokoyashi village part of it, right? The Arlong part of it, the Bellmare part of it, which was amazing, by the way. But we don't really know, like, the Oikot stuff before that. Like, we don't know her true background. And so that's why I kind of would want to read that panel again to kind of, you know, read between the lines a little bit more, because it could just be that Luffy just doesn't think about that stuff, or maybe Oda's hinting that, like, the Oikot stuff's really important. I'm not exactly sure. Bad rap sample with the $2 super chat. What's your Blackbeard multi-fruit theory? I forget. So, well, I have a kind of a couple different thoughts on it. One is it ties to the no sleeping thing, which, like, that's honestly a very convoluted answer, but it could just be like his lineage and the fact he doesn't sleep. Maybe there's, I don't know, some special something. I don't even know. But the idea that I kind of like the most, or I think is, like, the most likely, is that it's something with his blood where, like, so we know the Buccaneers have special blood, and I think we can presume, we don't know this 100%, but we can probably presume that Vegapunk studying Kuma's blood led to the green blood, which lets paramecia powers be shared with multiple people. And you could probably have multiple devil fruits too. We don't actually know that, but, like, if you had different vials of green blood and you could activate one at a time, you could use this fruit, stop, use this fruit, stop. You know, we don't actually know that, but I feel pretty confident. You could, like, just upload new green blood if you wanted to. So the reason I say all that is that we know with the Buccaneers' blood being important and them having some special trait we don't know about, and also Kuma and Blackbeard being somewhat the same, like similar designs. Like, they're both, like, really stocky dudes who skip leg day. They're like, they both have, like, long black hair that's somewhat similar. And there's a couple other things I just can't think of off the top of my head. There's like the Whitebeard part of it too, where Whitebeard looked like Kuma when he was a kid. Like, they both look kind of similar, and with how tall Whitebeard is. Some people think like maybe there's a, you know, a giant, like some giant genes in him, which we know Buccaneers are part giant genes. And obviously Whitebeard and Blackbeard are very closely related, so that's another way to look at it. Either way, what I'm getting at is just that with the blood part of it, I wonder if Blackbeard is able to like compartmentalize his blood flow or something. So for example, maybe like one fruit is coursing through one part of his body, another fruit is coursing through another part, but the blood doesn't mix. So maybe he has multiple hearts, which a lot of people have brought up because also the octopus theory, because octopi have multiple hearts, right? Like they have 3 of them. And so him having hearts, so there's like different sections of his body, like so the blood doesn't, you know, mix together. That might make it so he can use multiple fruits because it's like he has 3 separate portions of his body dedicated to them. That I think is the most likely scenario. But because like you even think about how he went under the tarp to get Whitebeard's fruit. Well, we also know that like, you know, that's a paramecia fruit, going back to the green blood thing. That paramecias use green blood. Did he go under that because he added it to his bloodstream directly in a certain way instead of eating it? Like I don't really know. Maybe he put some of Whitebeard's blood in his body, so he just basically did what Vegapunk does. You know, we don't really know. But yeah, I think Blackbeard's got something special. We already know from Marco he's got something special with his body, but I'm going with the blood. It just doesn't mix or something. Or maybe he has like multiple vascular systems. Like what if he has like 3 sets of veins going all through his body so the blood never mixes? I don't even know. I don't know. Mobius Chungus with the $2. Blackbeard knew Saturn dies here. I mean, well, what makes you think that? Like Katarina Devon copying his form? Is that what makes you think that? Because, I mean, Blackbeard to me seems like the type of guy who would not expect that unless he is there, right? Like, I think to him, he probably thinks the Gorosei are, like, almost unbeatable. And so, I don't know if he would be thinking that, but I mean, if Saturn dies and Devon can turn into Saturn, so that way it's just a full replacement and nobody knows. I mean, that would be, you know, kind of hype. Okay, I see you. Thank you 3-Day. I see. The super chat also went away, the other one, but I think I don't know what happens after that, but I think that was a little bit of spam. So just like earlier, please don't spam the chat too much, please. I know you're trying to explain the theory, but you know, it gets a little tough when it fills up the whole chat. So thank you 3-Day for modding. Appreciate you, because that is a lot of chats. I guess this is actually a really good time to mention real quick. If you guys do have some like really long theories you want to share with me, or just in general, join the Discord. Not just because I want to plug the Discord, but because we have a section called the Theory Kitchen where, I mean, you have to have a certain, like, if you get the Laboon roll, you're all good, or you just have to earn a couple levels to get there. But in the Theory Kitchen, you can post, like, full-on theories. It's like a forum thing. So if you ever have a long one, that's definitely the place to do it. Because, you know, honestly, whenever I'm on stream, sometimes it takes me so long to read these things that I just can't realistically read the whole thing. Which is why I love when you guys jam-pack the Super Chats in one short space. But if you have a really long one you want to share, that's definitely the place to go, is the Discord, and then just tag me. You should be able to, especially if you get to like level 10. I don't know how I broke the levels down. But either way, that's the place for long theories if you do have them. So anyway, thank you for modding, guys. I appreciate you. It'll be back in 1 min, I think. Okay, got you. Man, good job, mods, taking care of business. We got the mod squad in full force right now. Happiness is easy 5. With 10, I'm gonna look it up. I want to start learning my currency. What is PLN? Polish Zloty? I have no idea how to pronounce that, but it's Polish dollars, Polish monies. Appreciate you, Happiness. Thank you. And you know, happiness can be easy for sure. Not always, but it can be. I like that name. Luffy and Bonnie panels remind me of Goku and Gohan. Honestly, good. Yeah, it's honestly kind of similar. Because, like, like I was mentioning, because I mean Gohan obviously had a lot of moments, but you know Goku's still, you know, the top dog. Because like in this situation, it was Luffy like helping Bonnie the whole time. Right? Like Bonnie can't throw hands like this as seriously as Luffy can, but he's like get your moment. You know, this is come on, like it's time for you to shine. Let's go. Like I like that. I'm not gonna lie. I like that idea. Luffy's just helping her along to get up, like hopefully get to his level eventually, right? I like that. Bad Rap Sample again with the $5. Bad Rap Sample, thank you so much for all the donations today, for real. And I mean, and everyone else too, but I feel like I've said your name like a million times. Well, since you put all the stock in blood, question, you think the blood transfusion from Jinbei materializes a plot device? Yes. Yes, wait, hold on,
Let him cook. Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said let him cook.
Yeah, I'm real glad you said that. I completely, yes, 100,000%. Like, for example, if somebody with a devil fruit does a blood transfusion, does the person who got the blood from the original person then also have the devil fruit? I'm saying yes. It should be. Because you think about the Jinbei thing, it went into Luffy, right? What if Luffy gave blood to someone else? You know? Wade, you said Luffy as a fisherman would go so hard he can't drown. Yeah, you're right, it would go hard, but obviously since Luffy got Jinbei's blood, we know that it doesn't work like that, which kind of makes sense, because like you need to evolve like gills or whatever to make that work, so it kind of makes sense, but we know devil fruits are a whole other thing. And so I'm telling you, if Luffy gave blood, so it's supposed to be a zone fruit. We'll see how real that is. You know, I still think it could be a paramecia, but like if Luffy gives blood to someone, do they also have Nika powers? What if Luffy gives blood to the whole world? Do they all have Nika powers? You know, I don't know. And what if that's how we find out the truth behind Luffy's fruit? What if Luffy does give a blood transfusion and the person that he gives it to does get rubber powers, and then maybe somebody will comment like, hey, that's not supposed to happen for zone fruits. That's paramecia. You know, like Vegapunk would be the one, but we'll see if he even lives, so. Brandon King, you said, wait, Luffy shares gear 5th with Nami, and Nami turns into the fish Nami and Luffy dreamt up. That would actually be kind of funny. You mean, I know what you're talking about. That, I wish I could pull it up. That's too much work. If Luffy were to donate blood to someone, and so they would get Nika powers, who would be the most appropriate person? I mean, Nami is one of the first people I think of, but it's just if it's Nami, that just like from the Straw Hat hierarchy, like he would have to give the blood to everyone. I feel like Oda couldn't just single out one person. I don't know. I think it'd be really funny if somehow Luffy gave blood to Blackbeard. I think that would just be. For the story, that would make things so incredibly interesting, where Blackbeard has Nika powers too, but maybe he's just not as good at them, or maybe Luffy is truly the most free, so he's able to use the powers better. I don't even know. I don't even know. Or, oh, you said Brook also? Okay, Brook would make the most sense. So Brook already has a fruit, though, so I wonder how that would work. But I like that, too, because Gear 5... What if... But, okay, actually... Okay, hold on. No, now we're really cooking, because... So, Gear 5th, and Gear 2nd, and Gear 3rd, well, Gear 3rd... I guess what I'm getting at is Brook could only use Gear 3rd, right? Because he doesn't have blood to pump faster, so he can't use Gear 2. He can't use Gear 4 because he doesn't have muscles to blow up. And then Gear 5th requires you to beat your heart, you know, to a certain tone or whatever. And he doesn't have a heart to beat either. So if Oda's going to give those power... I mean, Brook doesn't have blood to transfuse, so I mean, maybe a bone marrow transplant, maybe. Which that actually would work pretty well. But that would be perfect just because Brook couldn't use the powers properly. And then that would be really cool. And that could be another way for us to learn that it's not actually a zone, because Like, if it was a zone, then none of that would matter, and Brook could just go into Gear 5th because he's just doing a zone transformation. If it does require the heart to beat faster, so it's not a normal zone thing, it's a, you know, special paramecia thing going on, then that might tell us, like, oh, well, Brook, if you can't go into Gear 5th, then something's wrong here, right? Like, it's not a zone. Bushido, I'm going to read these in opposite order. Both €2 super chats, but how does Luffy give blood to Brook? It would have to be blood. Jeez, excuse me, I'm just hiccuping every other word. It would have to be a bone marrow transplant for that to work. Which that makes sense. I'm not gonna lie. I mean that would hurt. That'd be like a lot tougher and would just hurt more than a blood one. But I could see that. And Mr. Bushido, you also said Blackbeard shows up. Saturn jumps out of the water. I'm pretty curious where the Saturn nonsense going, because it looks like he's about to fall into the water, which we already kind of know that they don't have Devil Fruit power, so it's not a big deal. But him looking all beat up like this and like his eyes whited out, it makes me feel weird based off the regeneration stuff, so I just don't know where this is going. But Blackbeard showing up does make sense to me now, because it's been long enough from the Winter Island thing. We know he's not at Hachinosu, and we know Augur needs a ride. If there was ever a time for Blackbeard to pull up, it should be now. I don't know what he would do here, necessarily. Like, maybe he would see Saturn die and maybe tell Devin, like, oh yeah, it's our time, and maybe that's the whole point. So I'm not really sure. David Cott, I think earlier you asked what I rated the chapter. I don't think I've given an official rating yet. But I would say 8 out of 10 sounds solid. I'm gonna go 8 out of 10, and I'm gonna go 8 out of 10 and like a little bit lower than last week's chapter. This one was super hype, but with the Clover stuff and the robot stuff last chapter, I was really hyped to see more of that, and we didn't get any of it in the next chapter. We just, you know, basically just got Vegapunk hyping things up, which is cool, but I was hoping for, you know, just a little bit of robot action. So I'm gonna go 8 out of 10. Still a very, very good chapter. I love the Isa hype here. On 3-Day, you said sent a colored version of the last double page spread. Thank you very much. That looks peak for sure. Who colored? Oh, I don't know who colored that, but I like the way they colored it. It looks like it's like in the manga, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know what you call that kind of coloring style, but I like it. That looks very good. I wish I could shout this person out, but their name's in a different language. But it looks great though. Thank you, 3D. That's actually, I see you're talking about. It does make the corner one look a bit like Shanks. I'm going Wang Ji. I think it's Wang Ji. I'm sticking with it. Oh wait, no, there is a name up here. Char Linlino, I think is what it says. It's in English, and then at the bottom also in a different language. Very cool. Mr. Bushido with the €2 super chat. Imagine Blackbeard, Emu, and Luffy Mexican standoff Egghead. Hey, I can't. I'll be honest. I hope that doesn't happen. As cool as that is, we need to leave. I don't want Emu, and I don't want all. Let's do that somewhere else. You know what I mean? Let's get off this dang island and leave. Because like if Emu and Blackbeard both pull up, we're here for another 30 chapters. You know what I mean? And like that could be cool, but I'm ready to go. You know, Elbaf, come on, Sphinx Island, I'm ready. Shanks versus Blackbeard, I'm ready. You know, all that stuff. So I really hope it doesn't happen. But Partha with the $20 super chat. Thank you very much, Partha. That's awesome. Maybe the Gorosei do their best to stomp out belief because they're hurt by it. Nobody could stop him when they thought he was unbeatable. The more faith they had, Bonnie believing in Nika by extension, the more damage he took. So I've seen a lot of people say that. For me personally, I think that would be a very weird situation for Oda to put himself in story-wise, because like this whole story, you know, we've built up these power systems with devil fruits, hockey. I mean, there's even side thing. I mean, you can just have brute physical strength. You can have there's like, you know, life return. There's like all these different kind of power systems. But then at the end, for the strongest people in the whole verse to just be weak to like belief, for me, I think that would be a big miss, because like these guys should be like unbeatably menacing. You know what I'm saying? Like if all it takes is to, you know, like if faith in Nika is enough, then for me, I just feel like that's a little bit, I don't know. It's just, there's got to be more to it, I guess is what all I'm getting at. Now, I do think there's something to say for the people who believe in Nika. I think they get stronger, like not with magical power, but just like their own motivation and belief in themselves. Like because if you're someone who believes that there's like, you're going to be you're stuck working for the government forever and you have no future and blah, 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 you're paying the celestial tribute, whatever, obviously your will, like your gumption to survive is going to be lower than if somebody comes and tells you, hey, there's actually a savior who's going to come someday. You just need to stay positive and keep fighting, and you're going to get saved eventually. That obviously you're going to be internally motivated to like a crazy degree. So I think that's more so how it works, where like Nika motivates the internals of like, people's own motivation. But I don't think Luffy gets more powerful, nor do I think the Gorosei get hurt by it. It's just like there just has to be more to it for me. That's mainly it. Like for them, I don't think the reason they want the world to stay in the dark about Nika is because it's going to hurt them. I think it's just because the world would be more motivated to fight back in general. Like they would rather keep the spirits down, and Nika does the opposite effect, right? Because like you see with Bonnie, like her believing in Nika obviously did make her stronger. She's able to go into Gear 5th, and she did this big punch along with Luffy and whatever, right? So I think for her, it definitely helps and makes her more threatening, but not because there's like a magic behind it, if that makes any kind of sense. Oh dang! So what? I'm reading the chat in between here. We got some South Indians in the chat. Looks like all y'all are talking about. That's super dope for real. I don't know if Parth. I don't know if you still live there. I see you said your parents are from there, but that's super cool either way. That's awesome that I have fans from that part of the world. Seriously. Thank you guys for watching. That's awesome. I think India is like my third or fourth most watched country. I don't know if that makes sense. Like on the analytics, I think it's like US, UK, Canada, or maybe those two are flipped, and then India, I think. So that's super cool. So major shout out to you guys. Little quick story real quick. When I was in grad school, I had a lot of international students in my grad program. I got a couple degrees, I guess, but mainly it was an MBA program. And a lot of them were from India, and those are like my best friends in the program were from India. Like those are the people I hung out with the most, and they just super cool people. Love hearing about their culture. They took me out to eat, so I got some good Indian food. Awesome people. Major shout out to India for sure. Law Sauce McGee celebrated being a member for 17 months. First stream I've caught in a while. Appreciate you for being here. Thank you. And I'm glad you did get here. I mean, we are going to be wrapping it up somewhat soon. Not like super immediately, but somewhat soon. But glad you could make it here for sure, man. Thank you. I was actually about to send you a message the other day because I was having some PC issues, but I did figure it out. But thank you either way. Dreams Never Die 95 with the $20 super chat. Do you believe in the Olympian theory? I am not sure if I've heard that. Where each straw hat represents an Olympian. Examples: Luffy was holding lightning like Zeus, and Robin defeating Black Maria, I assume, like Athena versus Arachne. I'm not good at pronouncing these names. I apologize. Blackbeard's Titanic captains. That's interesting. So I guess Dreams is the theory like I agree that like Luffy holding the lightning is definitely like Zeus. I don't know enough about the Athena thing to say if Robin ties to that, but the Blackbeard Titanic thing, that I know I've heard people talk about that. So I guess I'm curious, like, where does the theory go? Like does the theory tie to, like, does it say like this straw hat's gonna do this eventually? You know what I'm saying? Like what's like the future outlook for it? Because I like the idea. I don't know if it's strong enough for me to start using it as like a predictive tool. Like I don't know if I would say like, okay, so Zoro's gonna do something like some sword wielding Olympian thing, or I don't know if I would go that far, but I'm curious. Like I think you could get some really cool theories out of it, right? I guess that's what I'm saying. I don't know if I would believe all of them, but I think there is a trend there, and I'd be very curious to see where you guys see that going, because I'm not really big on like history and mythology, really. Like, and I'm just not very knowledgeable on it. So, but I feel like you got like people who do know more about it could probably think of some things right off the top of their head, because I'm sure there's a lot of myths and stuff with like sword users for Zoro. I mean, Nami could also be a lightning tie-in to Zeus. She actually has Zeus with her. Like, there's a lot of easy, you know, low-hanging fruit there. So I like it, Dreams Never Die. I honestly, I want to see what you guys cook with that, for real. Partha with the $2 super chat. You on College Football 25. I am not. I will probably buy it, to be honest, because it's just been so long. But I haven't bought a football game in a really, really long time. But college football is so much fun with like the recruiting, and you get like the low star program, and you get it to, you know, they're beating the Alabamas and Ohio States of the world. You know, I am a big fan of that. I remember picking like Georgia Southern. I can't even remember off the top of my head. Georgia Southern, I think. Some really small school, and I remember making my schedule like Alabama, Ohio State, Oregon back then was, you know, always really top tier. Texas, I can't remember all the other schools, but I made the schedule as hard as possible, and I love that because of the difficulty. Like, I actually like having a challenge there, so I'm probably gonna get it. Honestly. Drew Vaughn, you said, any hints for the upcoming video? It's gonna be about the origin of Devil Fruits. It should be. Like, my only worry is that it's really, really long, and I need to have it should be like 40 plus minutes or 30 plus minutes at least for this Devil Fruit one, and I need to have it done by like next weekend, and so it should be a Devil Fruit one, and I'm gonna get into we're gonna talk about the Adam tree, the Eve tree, we're gonna talk about sad chemicals, we're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff in that video. I think it's gonna be a good one. Still kind of putting that together, like the script, so I don't really have a whole lot to share right now. But the Adam tree and the Eve tree will definitely get touched on. I can tell you that much. So they're gonna be a big part of that video. Argonaut, you said, do you think Brook is connected to Oikot? I doubt it, but Brook was like a part of like a military convoy, or I can't remember the exact word he used, but it seemed like he was a part of something that protected the royalty from his home country before he became a pirate. So I could see a world where he went to Oikot on like official business, like maybe the king of his kingdom needed to go talk to the king of Oikot, and maybe that even somehow led to the issue that Nami faced in Oikot. So I don't know. I don't know if I would say for sure, but I think Brook, if anyone does, I think Brook would be the most likely one. But all right, guys, I think we are, wow, we're at 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's crazy. I did not think it was that long. I looked at the clock, like it felt like 2 minutes ago, and it was 5, and now it's 5:48. That's crazy. All right, guys, I am gonna wrap it up here. I think I got through all the super chats. If I missed one, someone please yell at me. Actually, hey, Mobius Chungus, if you're still here, I don't know if you are, but I did want to say I do see your other super chat, and I did want to say you said shadowy figure and Ancient Kingdom Royal. That I would very much doubt. An Ancient Kingdom Royal. I mean, they would have so I guess Toki would have had to send them forward or something. I doubt that he would be in this kind of panel, but the existence of one, like a king from back then being alive, that would actually be kind of cool. Like one of the other 20 kings. Like, well, they would be on the other side, but maybe the flip to that for the Ancient Kingdom. I'm not sure. But yeah, guys, so I am going to wrap it up here. Couple quick announcements. So tomorrow afternoon will be the TCG giveaway to all members who signed up like a month ago. Sorry it took this long. I have the box. It's going to be tomorrow, no question. Probably like 24 hours from now, so be on the lookout for that. I'll do a community post. Then also after that will be the sign up for the next giveaway. We're going to be doing these pretty quickly, so be on the lookout for that. Devil Fruit video coming next weekend. You know, we're gonna have another redacted video next weekend as well, along with the main one, and that's about it. And maybe we'll be doing a collab stream next weekend. I'm not 100% sure on that, because I know I'm doing a couple on other channels that you guys will hear about, so I don't know if I have time. But hopefully I can get a collab stream in, or even just one where I just get on and we just chat for a while about some theories. But all right, guys, I think that's about it for today. So thank you guys for your generosity and everything as always.